Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. All people, long live. Start with a billion god level halo. Chapter 81. When this phoenix goddess little lowly appeared in front of her eyes. Chen Yang fell in love at first sight. Certainly. This, like on, is not the, like, on, I can't understand it wrong, he is not that kind of person. After all, this one is just a lowly. He looked at her properties panel. Phoenix goddess. No name yet. Age, 0. Height, 133 cm. Opening square bracket, comma, closing square bracket. Question mark, question mark, question mark. No name. Chen Yang was a little surprised, he had to come up with the name himself. The age is 0, which is understandable, after all, it just came out of the egg. This height is too cute, isn't it? Chen Yang tentatively touched her little head first. The little lowly shrank her head slightly, looked at him innocently, and kept looking at him. Can the little sister speak? Isabella watched this scene from the side and felt a little novel. This phoenix goddess was so cute when she was born. Do not know. Chen Yang shook his head. He then switched to the combat attribute of this phoenix goddess. Phoenix goddess. No name yet. Current level, 1. Strength, 11. Physical, 12. Agility, 10. Spirit, 33. Talent, Phoenix Bloodline, sub-god level, fire damage increased by 300%. Bloodline talent, become a phoenix. Wifeng, incarnate as a phoenix, all attributes are increased by 20 times, and new skills under the phoenix are obtained. Phoenix form lasts for 600 seconds, will increase with level up with a 24-hour cooldown. Skill 1. Spitfire at will. Deals massive fire damage to an area. No cooling. Skill 2. Spitfire seriously. Deals massive fire damage to an area and consumes the Emperor's mana. No condensation. Chen Yang found it after reading it. This little lowly has no occupation, or in other words, her occupation is Phoenix Heavenly Girl, which belongs to a special occupation. The equipment that can be worn for her is legal equipment, cloth armor, staff and the like. Since she was just born, her overall attributes are still relatively low. But, Chen Yang noticed a note. This phoenix goddess will grow up once every 20 levels, and every time she grows up, all the basic attributes will be doubled. As expected of a god-level bloodline talent. Although the upper limit does not seem to be as high as the Dragon Girl, but every 20 levels doubles the attributes, and at 100 levels, it is equivalent to 32 times. And, this little lowly, Tian level can grow into the sky. Chen Yang felt a little magical. At this time, the little phoenix goddess seemed to recognize Chen Yang clearly, memorized his face carefully, and then shouted, "Dad," and threw herself into his arms. Question mark, question mark, question mark. No, you can't call me Dad, you have to call me Big Brother. Chen Yang had a headache. He has, just Dad. The point is, this little phoenix goddess can grow up once as long as she reaches level 20. Although it seems that some special conditions need to be met, it should not be too long for Chen Yang. Until she grows up to be a girl, it would be inappropriate to call him Dad again. Therefore, she had to correct her name in advance. Of course, to say whether Chen Yang has any other thoughts, it must be no. Big Brother. Then, after being corrected by Chen Yang, the little phoenix girl rushed into his arms and wanted to hug him. Chen Yang hugged her directly. Give you a name. Let's call Feng Luan, with the name Chen Yang. On her attribute panel, after the phoenix goddess, the word, Feng Luan, replaced the original, not named yet. Looking at her talent and bloodline, it turned out to be a desert level that surpassed the SSS level. Chen Yang felt that this wave was earned. The rest of the girls were also somewhat envious. To upgrade their talents from SSS level to deity level, they have to use 6 angel tears. It is worth mentioning that, within these 7 days, Chen Yang isolated the seawater and used his mobile phone to find some crying performance skills for Vivian. And try to make her yawn and cry. In the past few days, she has also cried several times, a total of 5 angel tears. What makes Chen Yang wonder is, if you just yawn and shed tears, it's not really crying, you can't produce angel tears. It seems that this thing is also related to emotions. Fortunately, Vivian's crying skills are getting more and more proficient. It makes Chen Yang feel that the days of stable production of angel tears are just around the corner. Go home. Chen Yang is holding the little loli. With all kinds of auras turned on, he started to leave home, and before leaving, he put all the eggshells into the princess bracelet. Chen Yang doesn't intend to leave any traces, even if it's a phoenix tea on the eggshell. By the way, he also activated the halo of mind control, and dragged the huge corpse of the frosty blue whale on the seabed. He didn't know what to do with the blue whale's corpse. This blue whale corpse is indeed very valuable. Many parts can be used to create epic equipment, adding up to more than 100 billion. Chen Yang can't waste it. Drag the blue whale back. Then find someone to help you deal with it. Who to look for? This kind of thing, if it is the identity of a single brush genius, does not seem to be very easy to do. After all, he was invisible the whole time, and many things were difficult to communicate. So he thought about it and decided to use the identity of Chen Yang, because of Mi Shengzi. Let Su Sheng's come out, let someone dispose of the blue whale corpse, and sell all the materials produced. In the final income, Chen Yang took 95% and gave him half of the hard work. This kind of thing, presumably Su Sheng's will never refuse. After all, even if it is only half of the income, that is, 5% of the total income, that is more than 5 billion magic crystals. By comparison, the current Apocalypse building, the regulations are far from reaching this level. Buying an Emperor-level Secret Realm scroll, which is 3 to 5 billion magic crystals, will take a long time to remember. Certainly, Chen Yang also thought about using the identity of God form to go to Ji Xiaoyu for help. But thinking that the forces behind Ji Xiaoyu are a bit complicated, I'm afraid he doesn't look down on these small billions. If he asks the Ji group to deal with it, Chen Yang will definitely not be able to get 95% of the income. So, Chen Yang naturally chose someone he was more familiar with. When leaving the seabed, Chen Yang first left the corpse of the frost blue whale at the bottom of the sea, and used the aura of Shenyan to hide it. Then take the girls back to the shore and the beach. At this time, it was just before nightfall. Chen Yang picked up the phone and called Su Qimeng. After hearing about Chen Yang, Su Qimeng immediately told her father, Su Sheng's, the news, and then Su Sheng's personally called Chen Yang, saying that she would find someone to deal with it immediately. At the same time, Su Sheng's in Zhongnan City was extremely shocked. Because Chen Yang doesn't know. In the past 2 days, there has been a lot of uproar about the disappearance of the Sakura Country Whaler team. After all, the whaling team had nearly 50 people in total, and each of them was a master of more than 100 levels. Although not all of them are S-level talents, they are at least A-level talents, and they are the strongest among A-level talents. Otherwise, there is no ability to rise to more than 130 levels. To know, in this era of national transfer, there are thresholds for upgrading. Especially starting at level 100. The secret realms and dungeons outside are directly from the Emperor level. The ordinary A-level talent transfer team can't beat it at all, and it is difficult to obtain the experience required for leveling up. Certainly, in this case, you can find someone to bring the upgrade. But the higher the level, the greater the gap in strength with the highly talented class transferee. Once brought to upgrade, don't even think about upgrading yourself in the future, you can only be brought up to upgrade. So, it is very difficult for a low-grade talent to rise to a high level. Basically, it is almost impossible to reach level 100 without A-level talent, unless someone is brought to bring it. Even if it is brought, its combat power will not be able to rise, and it will not have much effect. Under such circumstances, it is conceivable that the disappearance of the more than 40 whalers will cause an uproar. The entire Sakura country has already held Sha country accountable for this matter. Because, those 40 people disappeared in the waters of the Sha kingdom in the end. I can't get in touch now, it's probably dead. Then, Sakura country strongly requested Sha country to give an answer. However, Sha Guo has absolutely nothing to be responsible for Wang Wanghao. Even if you are a special whaler who comes to my waters, if you disappear in our waters, we are still responsible. Want to fart? Stop being responsible. Sha Guo didn't even send anyone to look for it. After all, the deep sea is so dangerous, and so many whalers are missing, who knows what's down there. Not only did they not send anyone to look for them, they even arranged patrols over the sea to prevent Sakura Nation from sending people to look for it. After all, this belongs to the Shaw Nation sea area. Under normal circumstances, Sakura Nation's transferees are not allowed to enter. Then, in the past 2 days, there has been a serious outbreak of health problems on international fishing vessels. Many aspects are condemning Sha Guo, and there is no humanitarian spirit. But Sha Guo has long been too lazy to know the general knowledge of those guys. In the era of national transfer, strength is everything. Also in this case, Chen Yang, who disappeared for several days, appeared. And he also told Su Sheng's that there was an epic blue whale corpse that needed to be dealt with, and asked him to come help and give him a 5% share. This is so. Could the disappearance of those whalers have something to do with Chen Yang? Su Sheng's is a little numb. Of course, Su Sheng's will not doubt Chen Yang either. To be precise, he doubts this matter, and it has something to do with the existence of the boss behind Chen Yang. Anyway, Su Sheng's wouldn't ask this question ignorantly. Things at that level are too far away from him. The current Su Sheng's, although he is an S-level talent, is one of the absolute bosses in Zhongnan City. However, Zhongnan City is a small city after all. The surrounding reading secret area resources are not so rich. His current S-level talent is 115. If he wants to continue to upgrade, it is quite difficult. Basically, he has to rely on the development of the guild, obtain funds, and then go out to buy some advanced dungeons, secret places. Certainly, the Apocalypse Building, which he founded, also cooperated with some forces in the surrounding cities. No matter which city has a team secret realm suitable for his level, someone will basically invite him to go in and pass the secret realm together. This is also one of the ways for him to upgrade. A 139 level epic frost blue whale, even if it is only 5% of the income, it will definitely have 4 or 5 billion. I didn't expect that Chen Yang would be willing to give me this opportunity. Su Sheng's felt a little flattered. Originally, he saw that his daughter seemed to have a good impression of this Chen Yang and was a little alert. But now it seems, this is a good thing. With these billions of income, he can buy some dungeons or secret scrolls between levels 110 to 120, and raise the level further. Then, he agreed immediately, and brought a collector and an anatomist, trained by the guild, and the two of them could deal with the corpse of the frost blue whale. In general, this is rarely used. In land dungeons, most of them are humanoid monsters, and humanoid monsters are of little value. But sometimes, in some dungeons and secret realms, there are some ancient beasts. Anyone who encounters this kind of dungeon secret realm requires the collection and dissection ability of these two people, and they can collect all the useful things on the beast. Before departure, Su Qimeng asked her father to bring her. She said she was a little curious about the epic frost blue whale. Then, Su Sheng's mentioned it to Chen Yang. Of course, Chen Yang doesn't care about it. In fact, only she knows what Su Qimeng has in mind. Tianai City, East Coast. Under the moonlight, Chen Yang was playing on the beach with 4 young girls and a little girl with blonde hair and golden eyes. Generally, no one will come to this place, otherwise, once encountering amphibious monsters in the sea and climbing up to enjoy the cool, they will directly become the rations of monsters. So this place, the scenery environment is not bad. The most important thing is that there are no idlers. Now that people have been contacted, Chen Yang lifted the frozen blue whale corpse hidden on the seabed with a halo of pity control. Speaking of which, the upper limit of Chen Yang's mind control ability is related to his own attributes. Now that he has a full set of king-level equipment and even a piece of legendary equipment, his full attributes have reached nearly 6,000 points. If the spirit and strength attributes are a little lower, I'm afraid it won't be able to drag this big thing. Chen Yang thought to himself. Soon, the 100-meter-long frozen blue whale carcass was dragged to the beach. Under the effect of the anti-corrosion halo, this corpse is no different from when it just died, and there is no sign of corruption at all. Next, wait for the salt melt to come over. From Zhongnan City to Tianai City, the eastern coast, a total of 600 or 700 kilometers. In any case, Su Sheng's is also a 115 level S-level talent powerhouse. With him flying with him, it will take him over an hour at most. On the beach, Ao Qingyu was dressed in white, sitting cross-legged on a large rock, bathing in the moonlight and practicing. These days, she is either killing monsters or cultivating. Make her all attributes more than 1,000 points higher than other girls. Except for her, Sylvie was playing with Xiao Fengluan and building a sand castle with her. This kind of thing, not only Feng Luan is interested in this little loli, but even Sylvie is also interested. After all, she has never seen a beach in her life. Although staying at the bottom of the sea for 7 days is a bit boring, but when you come to the beach, you can still play. If it was just her, she might be bored too. But with Xiao Fengluan accompanying her, she couldn't stop. Sylvie is really like a child. Isabella smiled helplessly while rubbing Chen Yang's shoulders. Let her play. Anyway, the elf princess, there really isn't much pressure in her life. Chen Yang said with a smile. The angel maid Vivian on the side, with a pair of snow-white angel wings shrunk behind her back, is working hard to cook angel food. Her cooking consumes a lot of mana, and because she is not a combat profession, she does not have basic mana recovery. Under normal circumstances, if you want to recover mana, you can only rely on meditation or taking mana recovery potions. But she is from Chen Yang. Whenever she has no mana, Chen Yang directly hits that source of magical power and instantly restores her mana to full. Speak up. I really want to change to someone else to summon this angel maid. I'm afraid I can't afford it. Just eating the mana recovery potion can make people poor. Soon, after a meal of angel food was completed, Chen Yang lay on the beach chair prepared in advance, basking in the moonlight, enjoying the food, and Isabella massaged his whole body, which was really enjoyable. About an hour later, Su Sheng's took his guild's men and his daughter Su Qimeng, and flew over from the sky. According to the location sent to him by Chen Yang, accurately came to the sky above the beach. In the distance, I saw the corpse of the frost blue whale, the body of frost that was 100 meters long, laying across the beach, reflecting silver light in the moonlight. This scene shocked Su Sheng's and others. As expected of an epic undersea boss monster, is this size too big? No wonder it goes to the bottom of the sea to make a fortune. It's just that Su Sheng's really didn't dare to go. No, none of the more than 40 guys in the group of whalers from the Cherry Blossom country returned. To know, those who are around level 130 are already quite old, they are all experienced, and they have various means emerging one after another, and they all have some emergency measures prepared. Even they disappeared in the deep sea. How dare Su Sheng's go to the deep sea to join in the fun? Certainly, let him go to the deep sea, but let him deal with the dead epic monster's corpse, he is still very good. Boss is too good. The collector of Tianqi building, who was brought along all the way, was excited when he saw the body of the frost blue whale. If we finish disposing of this corpse, his collection skill level can be improved a lot. He belongs to the logistics class transfer. The skills of this kind of transfer are based on proficiency and skill experience. Therefore, the corpse of this epic frost blue whale is not only money, but also in his eyes. It allows him to upgrade his skill level to a higher level. As for Su Qimeng, wearing a black dress, she looks pure and mature. Although it is only the school flower of Zhongnan City. But even in Tianai City, she is still a beauty that will be sought after by countless people. When she flew over this beach, a pair of smart eyes looked around, and when she saw Chen Yang, found this guy, lying on the beach chair leisurely, playing with his mobile phone. Under the moonlight, the crowd flew over and stopped on the beach. Let's start working directly. How long will it take? When Chen Yang saw someone coming, he didn't talk nonsense, and directly let people start to deal with the corpse. About 3 hours. Su Sheng's calculated it. It is good. Chen Yang nodded and said nothing. Chen Yang, that little loli is so cute, is it your summon? At this time, Su Qimeng came to Chen Yang and summoned up the courage to talk to him. Right, Chen Yang nodded without denying it. Then, Su Qimeng looked at Chen Yang's side. So many beauties. She had met Sylvia and Isabella before, and knew that Isabella was Chen Yang's friend. As for what kind of friend she was too embarrassed to ask. At this time, on the big rock beside him, there was a beautiful woman with hair in a skirt and squatting and practicing. It was quiet, and no one bothered. Immediately, Su Qimeng guessed, is this Chen Yang's teammate? The eldest lady who has a background and is confined to the backstage. So beautiful. This schoolgirl can't even dream of it. Chen Yang has now risen to more than 40 levels. These 5 girls are his summons. In her opinion, Chen Yang should be in his 20s or 30s. As for the summoned objects, there should be an elf, a little lowly, and an angel girl who looks a little dull. It's just, Su Qimeng can't see what kind of profession that angel girl is. Next, now that someone came to work, the girls stopped playing. Except for Ao Qingyu, who was still cultivating on the stone, all of them came to the side quietly. Chen Yang was waiting for the people brought by Su Shang's to finish the corpse of the frost blue whale. I thought I could get the job done smoothly. But he didn't expect that on this inaccessible beach, people came at this time. It stands to reason that this ghost place is not a secret realm refresh area, and it is also dozens of kilometers away from the urban area. Generally, no one will come here. But Chen Yang never expected. Due to the recent disappearance of the Sakura Country whaling team, there are many people patrolling the surrounding waters. Not too long ago, this 100-meter-long giant blue whale corpse was discovered. So, the other party directly notified the family members, and rushed over after getting ready. It is the people of Tianai City, the largest Lu's group. The Lu's group is not allowed to enter this area when doing business, idlers, etc. The young man in the lead, with a grass in his mouth, shouted as he walked around, obviously, taking the corpse of the frost blue whale as the property of their Lu group. This situation, it made Chen Yang a little speechless. This Lu group is so arrogant. He turned on the vision of God aura and checked the person who came. It was found that the young man with grass in his mouth was level 75. In terms of strength, he was probably not as good as Lu Yuyao, but the key point was that behind the young man were 2 middle-aged men of more than 120 levels, a warrior, a warlock, and several others. Logistic occupations such as famous anatomists, collectors, etc. Obviously, after the other party got the news, they directly formed a team to come over, intending to take away the body of the frost blue whale and convert it into the wealth of the Lu group. This thing, magic crystals worth more than 100 billion. Since Lu's group has discovered it, it is impossible to miss it, which is normal. Only, this group of people did not investigate, is this frost blue whale the owner? Seeing the arrogant young man, he paced up. Chen Yang said lightly, this area has the name of your Lu's group written. Or, is this frost blue whale written with your Lu's group's name? Oh, in addition to the Gu family in Tianai City, is there anyone else who dares to oppose our Lu family? Hearing this, the young man glanced at Chen Yang who was lying on the beach chair with great interest. Originally, Chen Yang didn't take Chen Yang to heart. 44-0. But he soon saw several top beauties next to Chen Yang. Immediately his eyes straightened. This guy is called Lu Xingzhou. He is the third son of the current owner of the Lu group. He grew up in an extremely advantageous environment. It can be said that in the entire Tianai City, except for the people from the Gu group, he looked down on everyone else. Moreover, he is also a lightning mage with S-level talent. Although it is not as good as his own expectations, he is also a genius. So, such a young man, in the process of growing up, never mentions how many beautiful women he has seen. He doesn't even look down on ordinary beauties. But now, when he saw Vivian, Isabella, Sylvie and other girls, this Lu Xingzhou was shocked all of a sudden. He had never seen such a beautiful girl, not one. Now there are so many all of a sudden. In particular, this building has a special hobby. A pair of eyes, directly on Xiao Fengluan's body, can't take their eyes away. But, just then, Chen Yang naturally found this guy's eyes, snorted coldly, and the god-level aura endless darkness opened. Directly enveloped the young man. Immediately. That Lu Xingzhou only felt that his eyes were dark, and he couldn't see anything. What's the situation? Be careful, protect me. Lu Xingzhou subconsciously stepped back in a hurry. Let his 2 120-level bodyguards be a little puzzled. What's the situation? No one here is doing anything to the third young master at all. As bodyguards, these two have a particularly obvious perception of the fluctuations of elements and magic, and if anyone in the field is abnormal, they can see it at a glance. At this moment, the weird boy lying on the beach chair just snorted softly. Nothing else. Why did the third young master suddenly panic? The two quickly supported Lu Xingzhou, third young master, rest assured, no one is here to do it. Lu Xingzhou heard this. Immediately, he yelled, no one touched Nima. I can't see it, I must have used some kind of curse skill. Quickly remove it for me. Hearing this, the middle-aged warlock wearing a black robe immediately took out a magic scroll from his arms. Scrolls to remove various abnormal curses. 2. When he opened this scroll and used it, Lu Xingzhou was still in darkness, unable to see anything. Superior. If it is replaced with other types of blindness, the scroll effect can be said to be excellent, and it can be easily removed. But unfortunately, Chen Yang's halo is a god-level halo. This kind of magic scroll can't be dispelled at all. Dr. Chen Yang's ability is a halo. As long as the aura is present, the effect will persist. In other words, even if the opponent's scroll is a god-level scroll and its blindness is removed, since it is still within the range of the halo, it will be instantly affected by the halo effect, resulting in blindness. Hence, after the two bodyguards made some operations, Lu Xingzhou still can't see anything. This situation made the faces of the two bodyguards sank. Boy, I don't know what your identities are, hurry up and restore our third young master to normal, otherwise Lu's group will not let you go easily. The middle-aged soldier said with a sullen face. At this time, Su Sheng's on the side also noticed the situation here and ran too fast. Upon hearing this, suddenly, I was shocked. Lu group. Isn't this one of the most powerful forces in Tianai City? Except for the GU group, there is no other force that can compete head-on with the Lu group. Don't say anything else, just the two bodyguards in front of them are both stronger than Su Sheng's. Seeing that the other party was about to make a move, Su Sheng's immediately stood up and said, everyone, wait a minute. Is there any misunderstanding between us? Here is the corpse of the frost blue whale that a senior asked us to deal with. Even the Lu group can't forcibly snatch it, right? When saying this, Su Sheng's is actually very confident. After all he knew, there is someone behind Chen Yang. Certainly, he is still a little worried. After all, the other party is the Lu family, and it is said that the Lu family is a powerful old man of more than 200 levels. Although the old man was not counted as a powerhouse at the township level, the gap between him and the township level was not too big. Chen Yang this backstage, can it bear it, misunderstand? When Lu Xingzhou heard this, he immediately screamed, no misunderstanding. This kid attacked me and made me see nothing. Kill him, kill him. After being shrouded in endless darkness, Lu Xingzhou was extremely flustered. But the two bodyguards were very calm and glanced at Su Sheng's. Obviously, they don't know the middle-aged man in front of them, but they can feel that the opponent's combat power is not much different from their own. Even the other party said that a senior asked him to come. Doesn't that mean, is the corpse of this frost blue whale really the owner? Then, the two bodyguards did not act directly without thinking, but saluted Su Sheng's as a greeting. What do you call this friend? The surname is Su. Su Sheng's is the chairman of Kailo building in Zhongnan City. Su Sheng's responded. In Zhongnan City, the two bodyguards were a little puzzled. Why don't people in Zhongnan City look like they have powerful seniors? They are usually very busy, so naturally they did not pay attention to the humiliation suffered by Lin Zishao and Yan Junction from Tianai City in Zhongnan City. After all, this kind of thing, people can't promote it. This has led to the fact that the current Tianai City transferees have no impression of the name Chen Yang, but only know that there is an invisible single-playing genius in Zhongnan City. But that single-brush genius is not Chen Yang. The two bodyguards in front of them did not connect the two at all. What is the senior you're talking about? The two bodyguards thought for a while, and then continued to ask. This question made Su Sheng's a little embarrassed. He glanced at Chen Yang beside him, but Chen Yang didn't mean to answer at all. Su Sheng's had no choice but to shake his head, expressing that he did not know him. I haven't seen that senior. However, that senior is extremely powerful and has incredible abilities. I advise the two of you to take your young master and leave here first. Su Sheng said immediately. This situation, let the two bodyguards look at each other. It is said that there is a senior, but I can't say its name. Afraid not to scare people. Although it is said that Lu Xingzu's blindness is indeed a bit strange, but they also do not believe that someone in Zhongnan City would really dare to oppose the Lu group. Since that's the case, please step aside. This frost blue whale was discovered by our Lu group first. Among them, the black-robed middle-aged warlock suddenly changed his attitude and said sullenly, with a threat in his words. At the same time, he is still in the guild channel of Lu's group, starting to call for helpers. After all, Lu Xingzhou was blinded for no reason, which made him feel a little uneasy, so it would be better to call more people. Although this way they won't get more extra money, but safety is the most important thing. But makes this middle-aged warlock a little strange. Lu Xingzhou, who was still yelling in horror just now, why is there suddenly no sound? So he looked sideways. I saw Lu Xingzhou, who was already facing Chen Yang, knelt on the beach, opened his mouth but couldn't say anything, looked around with his eyes, but still couldn't see anything, it was darkness. God-level halo. Kneel down, language deprivation. Chen Yang thought this guy was too long-winded, so he directly deprived him of his language ability, and in order to prevent him from tampering, he directly turned on the halo off the road. Certainly, kneeling the halo belongs to the halo that is a forced action. Even if it is God level, its effect is not completely mandatory, but needs to determine the attribute ratio of Chen Yang and the opponent. This kneeling aura can only be used when Chen Yang's spiritual attribute exceeds twice the opponent's spiritual attribute. Obviously, although this building has more than 70 levels, the equipment on his body is not comparable to Chen Yang's full attribute grade. In particular, Chen Yang also has Vivian's all-attribute talent bonus, as well as Sylvie's all-attribute boosting state, and even the angel food he just ate gave him a full attribute boost. This made Chen Yang's spiritual attributes completely below Lu Xingzhou. So at this moment, that Lu Xingzhou found himself kneeling on the beach uncontrollably. He opened his mouth and couldn't make any sound, his eyes couldn't see anything, and even when he tried to use his skills, he found that he was silenced. Incredibly embarrassing. And this, it's not over yet. Brand of Fear, Halo, then turn on. Brand of Fear, Aura. This can be said to be a very terrifying aura. Chen Yang knew about it before, but he never took it out and used it. Because, after this halo is used, the consequences are more serious and permanent. Brand of Fear, God-level aura. Plant a brand of fear on the selected target. When they see, think, hear any message from you in your summons, they will lose their minds and fall into extreme fear. This guy just saw Xiao Fengluan's eyes, but Chen Yang saw it. Even if he doesn't kill him, he will make him a waste. Certainly, this fear brand halo has the same judgment conditions as the kneel down halo. It requires Chen Yang's mental attribute, and it can only be judged to take effect if it exceeds the opponent's double. In fact, in Chen Yang's God-level aura, there are many different types of similar auras, all of which need to be determined in the attributes of the target. There is even the absolute command aura. As long as Chen Yang's spiritual attributes reach 5 times the target, he can absolutely command the target directly. Such a God-level halo. Although the judgment conditions are a bit harsh, the effect is really terrifying. Just like this moment, when Chen Yang activates the brand of fear aura, and selects that star continent as the target. An imprinted seed of 11 fear was deeply planted in his mind. From now on, whether he hears, sees, or even thinks of Chen Yang and the girls he summons, he will fall into unparalleled fear and lose his mind. Now, this Lu Xingzhou is just thinking about Chen Yang and Xiao Fengluan that he just saw. Sudden, an indescribable feeling of extreme fear rose up from his whole body, as if it was surrounded by him from all directions. What? When his 2 bodyguards were still wrangling with Su Sheng's. This building, Xingzhou, immediately fell into extreme fear that could not be resolved. Seeing this, Chen Yang directly lifted that kneel down aura. Nay, I saw the young man shouting and screaming in fear, got up, turned and fled far away. ? Seeing this scene, the 2 bodyguards wanted to continue to put pressure on Su Sheng's, but they were all dumbfounded. ... What's going on? 3 young masters crazy. For a while, they didn't care about the frost blue whale here, and they chased after Lu Xingzhou. ... Su Sheng's and Su Qimeng's father and daughter were a little shocked when they saw this scene. In fact, they have no idea what just happened. But whether it's Su Sheng's or Su Qimeng, you probably guessed it, it must be the strong man behind Chen Yang. Isn't this mysterious and strange ability exactly in line with the style of that strong man? What baldness, diarrhea, freezing people into a golden lump. Can people kneel down, go blind, or even, mad? Hiss. This one is too scary. So far so good. They are always on the side of Chen Yang, or they have to fight against such a big guy. It is too scary, I am afraid that I can't sleep at night. As for Chen Yang, after seeing that Lu Xingzhou escaped, he ignored it. Anyway, as long as this guy thinks of Chen Yang, he will lose his mind and run away. Over time, this guy doesn't even dare to think about Chen Yang. The same is true. What are your thoughts on Xiao Fangluan? Just thinking about it now makes him have a splitting headache, falls into an abyss, and falls into extreme fear, and after a few minutes, he can't even think about it. Chen Yang and the girls he summons will become this guy's endless nightmare. Keep doing things, Chen Yang said to Su Sheng's. Ah, okay. Su Sheng's quickly agreed and turned around to arrange for his men. But this time, Su Sheng's always felt a little strange. Although there is a boss behind Chen Yang, the boss is not protecting him, but protecting the lady in white sitting on the stone, right? Why does Chen Yang speak and act so confidently? Always felt, this handsome guy is too calm. Certainly, after all, Su Sheng's didn't know what was the relationship between Chen Yang and the Miss in White. Maybe the two sides are already, cough. It is understandable that Chen Yang is so calm and composed. At the same time, Lu Xingzhou lost his mind and instinctively wanted to stay away from Chen Yang. The two bodyguards quickly chased after him, forcibly pulling him for fear of injuring him, so they had to let him run away, running farther and farther, until he reached the woods more than 300 meters away, and he gradually recovered. Out of breath. After running here, he found that his eyes could finally see, and he could finally speak. I'm ready. He was a little puzzled and had a little lingering fear about what had just happened. Immediately, a look of cruelty appeared on his face. Let's go, call someone, go back. Not finished yet, he suddenly thought of Chen Yang again. Suddenly, an indescribable fear surged out of his mind again, causing him to lose his mind again in an instant. What? Ah. He didn't even have a steady footstep yet, the whole person hugged his head again, his face became extremely pale, his pupils seemed to see a devil, and he always felt that there were indescribable beings approaching him from all directions. Question mark. The two bodyguards just breathed a sigh of relief. As a result, their third young master ran out screaming again. Their faces finally became extremely solemn. This situation. It looks a little tricky. They quickly stepped forward, and the middle-aged warlock in black robes released a calming spell. However, what they didn't expect was that this calming skill was ineffective against the current Lu Xingzhou. What's going on? The two bodyguards were already sweating profusely. The middle-aged warrior took action, and with his tyrannical body, he stretched out his arms to restrain Ji Xingzhou. Even so, Lu Xingzhou was also struggling frantically in his arms, as if he had seen a ghost. His hair was disheveled in a short period of time, and he even rolled and crawled on the ground just now. His body was dirty and looked no different from a beggar. Go, take it back first. The two bodyguards quickly took Lu Xingzhou away. As for those logistical transferees brought by Lu Xingzhou, they naturally did not dare to stay here for a long time. Even Lu Xingzhou suffered. If they stay here, they may be killed. The group of people on the beach are really weird songs. Lu's group. Two more than 120-level bodyguards flew back all the way, driving Lu Xingzhou, who kept struggling and screaming. In the sky above the urban area of Tianai City, Xu Fei is also not allowed to travel. But now they don't care. As fast as possible, I rushed back to the industrial estate of Lu's group. At this time, Lu's group is brightly lit. Just now, Lu Xingzhou and Lu Xingzhou took people from here to the eastern coast. Unexpectedly, after just a while, Lu Xingzhou rolled back, and he looked crazy. When he was brought back, in the hall of the Knowles group, there are also several of the younger generation, who are talking a lot. You must know that the Knowles group has a great business, and its interior is not monolithic. For the epic frost blue whale corpse found on the coast this time, let Lu Xingzhou go, and several other youths of the same generation are very unhappy. And they're ranting. Suddenly, Lu Xingzhu's screams were heard, from far to near in the sky. Help, help, horrible, I'm going to die, don't kill me, don't kill me. Question mark question mark question mark. A time. The entire Lu group was boiling. No way, that guy's scream was so loud that it spread all over half of Lu's manor at once. Immediately, Lu's elders, younger generation, and some of the servants who worked for Lu's family, all walked out of each room one after another, looking at Lu Xingzhou flying over from the sky and being driven. After a few minutes, in Lu's main hall, an old man's angry voice sounded. That's the old man of the Lu family. Although he is not the strongest in the Lu family, he is also an SS level transferer with more than 160 levels. Who the hell made Sin Chu like this? Anyone from Zhongnan City. Just when Lu was angry and wanted to lead someone to take a shot, find the place and avenge Lu Xingzhou. But suddenly a faint voice without the slightest emotion came into the field. Your Lu family, are you brave? Provoke that one, it's not bad for a crazy one. If you want the entire Lu family to go crazy, go ahead and try it. This voice is light and light, but the warning sign is obvious. And when many of Lu's people heard this voice, their faces all became extremely ugly, because this voice came from a powerful man at the national level. The strong man of the township level, the Owl Wolf, is known as the Jagged Judge. It is this person who has the ability to rewind the scenes that happened in a certain place in 7 days. Basically, as long as there is any mass casualty incident in the Sha Kingdom, he will let him go out and find the real culprit in a few minutes. This is one of the reasons why the security of the Sha Kingdom is always better than other countries. Certainly, if you really want to encounter any difficult situations, Owl Wolf's scene retrospective ability is not omnipotent. But it is more than enough to deal with ordinary people. This strong man did not appear in Lu's manor, but even if he just said such a sentence, it was enough to make the entire Lu's vigilance. Crazy one is good. Provoke that one. A.B. Who is it? Immediately, many people in Lu Tian began to inquire. But no one answered them at all. Because even this country-level powerhouse, Xiaolong, has no idea who that one is. In fact, after discussing with the old swordsman Yu Juyang, Xiaolong came to Zhongnan City 7 days ago to investigate Chen Yang, mainly to investigate who the strong man behind him is, and to find out what the other party's attitude towards Sha Guo is. Will it endanger the Sha Kingdom? He investigated several places in Zhongnan City, and even if he used the scene retrospective ability, he did not see any suspicious people. He investigated mainly the big guy behind Chen Yang. The first time he appeared was at the entrance of Hengwu shopping mall, which made people bald and diarrhea, but that time was too long, and his scene backtracking was useless. So, he could only investigate the auction that night. That night, the big guy appeared for the second time. At the entrance of Hengwu shopping mall, Lin Zishao of Tianai City was physically beaten, and Yan Zhengxian, a strong man of the older generation, was frozen into a lump of gold. Owl Wolf was nearby and frantically used the backtracking ability, but as a result, he didn't see any suspicious characters at all. Then there is the auction venue. He even went back to when Yu Hongyuan competed with Chen Yang. When Yu Hongyuan thought that someone was raising the price against her and wanted to go out with a sword, she suddenly fell asleep. This scene also makes Owl Wolf go back. He still hadn't found any powerful people around at that time. This made Owl Wolf extremely puzzled. Who is that boss? Suddenly, he thought of a possibility. In previous investigations, he also encountered a situation where his own scene retrospective failed to take effect, so he thought to himself, it's the boss who blocked his retrospective directly. That guy has so many special abilities. It's reasonable to block his backtracking, right? With this idea, Owl Wolf, who is a powerhouse at the national level, has become extremely vigilant against that unknown existence. He came to the villa where Chen Yang was. But I didn't dare to go in and investigate, lest the big guy be hostile to him. Just let the 2 official investigators leave. He stayed in Xian Villa himself, intending to ask Chen Yang directly and communicate with Chen Yang about the strong man. But he waited for a few days, but did not wait for Chen Yang to come back. But I suddenly heard that Su Qimeng, who was also in Xian Mountain Villa, received a call from Chen Yang. Therefore, Owl Wolf just came to Tianai City. Fang Kai, the scene of Lu Xingzhou on the eastern coast, he completely saw it. What made him feel unbelievable was that he did not feel any fluctuations in skills, elements or magic at all. Then Lu Xingzhou had already been recruited. And this time, the situation was even more bizarre than before. The three young masters of the Lu family. Crazy. He seemed to wake up once in the middle, but then he went crazy again. Until now, after returning to Lu's manor, that Lu Xingzhou finally woke up for the second time. He was covered in cold sweat and his face was extremely pale. When he saw that Lu's elders were all by his side, the full sense of security finally made him relieved. Then, he opened his mouth and was about to explain what had happened to him. The figure of Chen Yang appeared in his mind again. This moment, what? So scary, save me. He is crazy again. All of Lu's faces became extremely ugly. Their Lu clan, who have been based in Tianai City for 100 years, have never suffered such a big loss. But just now, even the strongman at the national level stood up and warned them. Obviously, Lu Xingzhou has provoked someone, and he cannot be provoked anyway. In this era, everyone in Lu clan is very clear that in this world, some people cannot be provoked. No matter how strong their Lu clan is, once they provoke certain existences, the family must perish. This makes their older generation always very vigilant. But the younger generation has not experienced the previous chaotic era, and has no concept of those horrors in today's world. Therefore, it seems to be arrogant. And this time, the one whom Lu Xingzhou provoked, they have never even heard of this method. Mind control skills, they have seen it, and even themselves. But they have never seen such a situation where people suddenly go crazy, recover after a period of time, but then continue to go crazy again. Even if it is frightened to insanity, it can't be recovered either. As a result, Lu Xingzhou went back and forth, putting it on and jumping again and again. Inside Lu's manor, Lu Xingzhu's screams were constantly heard. It cast a shadow over the entire Lu family, but they didn't dare to trouble the strong man at all. As for the corpse of the frost blue whale, of course they didn't even dare to think about it. Only 100 billion magic crystals. What is the mere magic crystal when faced with a powerful enemy that can destroy the entire Lu clan? A town-level powerhouse. Interesting. As everyone knows, when Lu Xingzhou fled, Chen Yang had been observing from the god's perspective of God's vision. When the other party escaped and returned to Lu's manor, Chen Yang was even ready to give Lu's one head-on hit. But I didn't expect. The voice of a town-level powerhouse suddenly floated out. Are you warning each other? This makes Chen Yang feel a little interesting. This means, in his current identity, he has also been targeted by the town-level powerhouse. Really, whether it's bald or diarrhea, this ability seems a little too shocking. Chen Yang can't help it either. Every time he encounters trouble, the first thing that comes to his mind is naturally to use his god-level aura to solve it. Not only silently, you can also pretend that there is a big guy behind you. In fact, just now, Lu Xingzhou and the two bodyguards, Chen Yang, whose frontal combat power was crushed by Chen Yang, naturally wouldn't show his true combat power, at least not now. He is very clear. If he showed his true combat power to defeat the opponent, Lu wouldn't be afraid. But if he uses the halo method to deal with it, the other party will be suspicious. Human beings are most afraid of the unknown. Certainly. For the current Lu Xingzhou, Chen Yang is the thing he fears the most and his eternal nightmare. He couldn't even tell anyone his fears. Because every time he wants to say it, he must think of Chen Yang first, and then lose his mind directly. This evening, Lu Xingzhou was directly transferred to the intensive care hospital. Lu found him a lot of professionals such as warlocks and priests who were proficient in spiritual skills, and wanted to see what happened to him. These are destined to be futile. The seed of fear from the god-level fear brand halo has been planted in the deepest part of his heart, and even took root. Chen Yang used God's perspective to fly over Lu's manor. Finally, let him find the town-level powerhouse in the invisible state. Is he, Jagged Inquisitor? Chen Yang recognized the plan as soon as he saw the translucent face of the other party. This person is different from other powerful people at the national level. Because he has dealt with too many murder cases, his appearance rate in public is particularly high. Even Chen Yang could recognize him at a glance. This guy, it is said that he has the ability to go back to the scene. Chen Yang was a little interested in this ability. It's still very good. It is definitely an essential skill for the senior management of Sha Guo. Certainly, Chen Yang wasn't worried about this guy using this ability on himself. This is what he realized only recently. As long as he turns on the time-blocking aura, he can block all time energy within the range. The opponent's ability to look back the scene is essentially a time Wang's ability. In an area, as long as Chen Yang has turned on the time interruption aura, all the previous scenes will not be able to be traced back to the other party. In other words, Chen Yang's time-blocking aura completely restrain Owl Wolf's scene backtracking. E.g., Chen Yang had turned on the time interruption halo within 100 kilometers of the seabed. Even if the Owl Wolf goes to the bottom of the sea to go back to the scene, there is no way to go back to the scene where Chen Yang killed the group of whalers in the Cherry Blossom country. And Chen Yang is not worried that the other party will explore the villa where he lives. Because Xian Villa belongs to the top villa area in Zhongnan City, every villa in it is a magical barrier created by a top barrier teacher. Once an outsider enters, even if it is invisible, this barrier will give a direct warning. During these 7 days, Chen Yang did not receive any warning. This also means that the other party has never entered the villa where he is. But this guy seems to have come to investigate the big guy behind Chen Yang, and it is naturally impossible to do anything that might lead to hostility in advance. Right now, Chen Yang suddenly discovered from God's perspective that the town-level powerhouse had left Lu's manor at this time. Flying towards the east coast where he is. He's coming for me. Chen Yang was a little surprised. However, Chen Yang thought about it and felt that it was normal. At this point in time, this country-level powerhouse will appear in Tianai City, and at Lu's manor to warn Lu's. It's obvious that this guy is investigating Chen Yang. That being the case, it is also normal for the other party to come to Chen Yang. So, the scene where Lu Xingzhou was branded with fear by me just now was also seen by him. Chen Yang didn't care too much. Anyway, for him, now he has a preliminary means of self-protection. Even if it is stared at, or even seen through, nothing will happen. Soon, wearing a black trench coat, a young man with refreshing short hair, the powerful man of the town, the Owl Wolf, from far to near, maintaining a state of invisibility, came to the eastern beach, near where Chen Yang is. This person belongs to the younger generation among the powerhouses at the national level. Certainly, it looks quite young, but in fact, he is in his 50s or 60s, just because of the rapid upgrade, the growth of physical attributes can delay aging. The stealth level of the Owl Wolf is currently level 31. Because he is wearing special equipment with a stealth level, and this stealth level is just the level that the old sword sage Yu Juyang and the others can't see through. Therefore, when the Owl Wolf came to the east coast, it appeared directly not far from Chen Yang. He intends to observe first, and then decide whether to show up. Too bad he didn't know that. Chen Yang's God's vision is the perspective of God. No matter how invisible the people around him are, he can see right through it. It is different from Shenyan aura. The aura of Shenyan only has a level 100 stealth level, not absolute stealth. But the vision of the gods is absolutely anti-hidden. At this point, this is what this Owl Wolf player never thought of. Then, 450 when the Owl Wolf approached. Chen Yang looked at the way he didn't plan to come out for the time being, and didn't bother to fight his wits and bravery, and said directly, "Senior of the national level, since you're here, don't hide it." Question mark question mark question mark. Say this. It made all the girls around Sylvie and other girls feel tight. Are all the town-level powerhouses here, hiding beside you? It's amazing that Chen Yang can actually see it. But Chen Yang has shown too many abilities, and the girls are completely used to it. Now, no matter what Chen Yang does, they will not be too strange. And when he said it, even more shocking was Su Sheng's and Su Qimeng's father and daughter on the side. Originally, the night wind was blowing on this beach, the moonlight covered the earth like a silver tulle, and it was peaceful and peaceful. Who would have thought? There is actually a town-level powerhouse on this beach. Su Sheng's and Su Qimeng's father and daughter quickly looked around, confused. Town-level powerhouse. Really? This level of powerhouse, even Su Sheng's has only seen it once or twice with his own eyes. And to say that the most unbelievable person in the field is naturally Xiaolong himself. He never imagined that he only came here, and as a result, he was discovered. Impossible, it's impossible. Even if it's a state-level powerhouse, there are only a handful of people who can see through my invisibility. How could this young man see through my invisibility? Even the big guy behind the boy can't be so fierce, right? Owl Wolf couldn't believe it at all. He thought, could this be Chen Yang fishing? Then, he quietly stood aside, always keeping vigilance, but he didn't show up, let alone respond, and carefully observed Chen Yang's continued actions. Owl Wolf, level 248, SSS level Ghost Assassin, located 26 meters behind my left. Chen Yang sighed. This guy doesn't cry without seeing the coffin. They've been seen through, but they still don't come out. What are you thinking? And when Chen Yang accurately reported the identity, information and location of the other party, the Owl Wolf was completely shocked. Nima, not only his name, rank, but also his exact location. Obviously he has been exposed. So what else is he hiding? The young man in a black trench coat cancelled his stealth in embarrassment and appeared not far from Chen Yang. Hello everyone. In order to ease the embarrassment, he raised his hand and waved, saying hello. However, the scene seems to get more awkward. Cough cough. Facing the suspicious eyes of everyone looking at him. He coughed, then looked around and said, I want to find that senior, I wonder if that senior can show up and talk. The night wind blows by. There was silence on the beach. A long time. Chen Yang just replied to him. The big guy doesn't want to be named and doesn't want to come forward. If you have anything, just say it directly. Quote. Owl Wolf was a little puzzled. But there is nothing he can do. He can be sure that the big guy is next to him, but he has absolutely no way to find him. Think about the purpose of your trip. Xiaolong could only calm down. After thinking for a while, he asked with a solemn expression, then dared to ask the senior. But is it from the Xia country? Hear him. Chen Yang also understood what this person meant. He replied casually, it's from the Xia country, and it won't endanger the Xia country, you can rest assured. That's good. The Owl Wolf nodded. Although this was answered by a junior like Chen Yang, he was more willing to believe it. The point is, he has nothing to do with the big guy who doesn't want to be named now. What else can he do other than trust Chen Yang? Certainly, for safety reasons, he still had to follow up with Chen Yang. On the premise of not offending the big guy, let's see if we can dig out some useful information, or just go back like this. There's no way to deal with it. From beginning to end, he just communicated with Chen Yang. I didn't even hear the voice of the big boss BBDF, I didn't even see the shadow. Just go back and tell people, is this big guy okay? It's no wonder that other town-level powerhouses don't cut him to death. Then, Owl Wolf looked around, and quickly focused his attention on the epic frost blue whale corpse being processed on the beach. Thinking of the fishing reels targeting Xiaoguo that have been published internationally in the past few days, he thought about it and asked, by the way, what happened to this whale? How did it appear here? This kind of epic monster is logically impossible, may be stranded. That big guy killed it. Chen Yang said. I see. Xiaolong was right after thinking about it. Since Chen Yang asked someone to deal with the blue whale corpse, it meant that the death of the blue whale definitely had something to do with him. But soon, what the Owl Wolf realized was wrong. Because, although this epic blue whale is dead, it is clear that its level information is still there. The 139 level epic level secret realm big boss, the frost blue whale, has its own level restraint, but any class transfer over level 142 cannot cause any damage to it. Quote. That big guy, who doesn't want to be named, is only at this level at the moment. At most level 14. The Owl Wolf was stunned. The 142 level boss is more than 100 levels lower than him. How can he have so many incredible abilities? Unscientific, so unscientific. The most important thing is, his stealth level has reached level 31. If you just learned ordinary anti-hidden skills, you must learn at least level 310 anti-hidden skills to see through his stealth. And the equipment and skills with the anti-hidden level are extremely precious. A class transferee with a maximum of level 142, in any case, can't possibly exceed the anti-hidden level of level 31. What the hell is going on here? Xiaolong was stunned, completely stunned, as if his outlook on life had collapsed in an instant. But what he didn't know was, his guess was not wrong from a certain point of view. The big guy who killed the whale was indeed less than level 142. In fact, Chen Yang is only level 46 now. He was inexperienced in killing monsters in the wild, so Chen Yang's level was stagnant during these 7 days. Level 46, isn't it lower than level 142? No problem. Although this is a bit too low, cough cough. A time. Xiaolong felt that the big man who did not want to be named was even more mysterious. It turned out that he was a strong man who had only risen for a long time. No wonder he was hiding so deeply. If there were more than 200 level township level existences, how could it be possible that no one knew about it for so long? Speaking of which, did that senior see any suspicious people when he hunted this epic whale? For example, the whaler of the Sakura country or something. Owl Wolf looked at the blue whale corpse, and then asked Shang. Whalers in Sakura country. When Chen Yang heard this, he was a little puzzled. These days, he doesn't pay attention to any international news. Even if he is isolated from the sea and surfing the internet on the bottom of the sea, he just finds a crying scene for Vivian. Did something happen? He questioned the other party. It's not a big deal, that is, more than 40 whalers from the Sakura country have disappeared, and they disappeared in the waters of our Sha country. Xiaolong explained with ease. They asked our Sha country to give an explanation. We naturally don't bother to pay attention to it. Now both the Cherry Blossom country and the Kimchi country are attacking our Sha country with fishing boats. After his explanation, Chen Yang finally knew what was going on. Suddenly I feel that Sakura country is too shameless, right? The person disappeared in the waters of the Sha kingdom, but that group of people invaded illegally. Even if I die in this Haley, what face does the other party have to say? As to where those whalers are, I'm not too sure. Chen Yang glanced at the bulging white belly of the epic frost blue whale. If you really want to ask me, I can only advise you, look carefully, don't blink. Exactly at this time, the anatomist cut open the belly of the frost blue whale. Immediately, one after another, the corpses of Sakura whalers who were frozen into pieces of ice rolled out of the blue whale's stomach. Question mark question mark question mark. Xiaolong and the surrounding Su Shangs, Su Qimeng and others took a few breaths when they saw this scene. Nima, no wonder they disappeared, those whalers were actually swallowed by this epic monster. A time. The Owl Wolf's face became extremely wonderful. Sakura Nation has been entangled in missing persons for several days, and all of them have entered the stomach of epic monsters. Who would have thought of this? And this national-level powerhouse can be said to be always ready. When Chen Yang asked him to look carefully, he subconsciously took out his mobile phone and opened the video shooting. Just filmed the scene just now. This video can be used as evidence. Isn't Sakura country condemning Sha country? Now, the bodies of these guys have been found in the stomachs of epic monsters, which means that they were killed by monsters themselves. Chen Yang, these corpses, can I take care of them? Owl Wolf couldn't help but ask. Okay, take it with you. Chen Yang nodded. In fact, it is useless for him to ask for these corpses, but he knows that the official Sha kingdom can use these corpses to negotiate conditions with the Cherry Blossom kingdom. Want to get the body back? Magic crystal or something is not important, the important thing is to make Sakura country apologize. Of course, even if the other party apologizes, it is impossible to get the body back without blood. These whalers are all around level 130 strong. Everyone in Sakura is considered to be a powerhouse. Although they are not too important, their status in Sakura is definitely not low. At least, much higher than Su Shengji's status in Zhongnan City. Certainly, Chen Yang was too lazy to pay attention to these matters. And the Owl Wolf knows it too. Chen Yang can be said to have done Sha Guo a favor this time, so he would definitely have to return the courtesy, since it was not his style to owe favors. How about this? I called some people to help you deal with this corpse, all the things of this frost blue whale, we have taken it all. Xiaolong said to Chen Yang with a smile. This situation made Chen Yang a little surprised. Think about it. He doesn't need this thing himself anyway. After all, he doesn't have the ability to forge equipment, and he has to sell it anyway. So selling to the official is not much different from selling to others. As for the price, how about a 20% increase from the market price? Xiaolong continued. After all, it is a complete frost blue whale corpse, and it has just come out of the oven. There is nothing to say about this condition. Chen Yang doesn't agree. That's a fool. So soon. The two sides have finalized that the entire body of the frost blue whale will be sold to the official at a price of 136.5 billion magic crystals. Chen Yang got a premium, at least 20 billion more magic crystals than selling it elsewhere. But they are trading in PY. It made Su Sheng's a little embarrassed. Originally, Chen Yang asked him to deal with the corpse and gave him a share, but now he sold the whole head directly to the official. But this Su Sheng's is still very discerning. He immediately said that it was very good that he could see this epic monster, and the 5% share agreed in advance was not needed. Equivalent to, he is willing to run for nothing. To him, this time, whether it was to meet the strongman at the national level or to have a good relationship with Chen Yang, the benefits far exceeded the 5% revenue share. In terms of Xiaolong, he also left Su Shengji's contact information for Chen Yang's face. In the future, if there is any suitable dungeon, secret realm lacking people, he can call on Su Sheng's to make up the number of people. For him, it was a hands-on effort. But for Su Sheng's, it accelerated his growth. The matter regarding the frost blue whale corpse has been dealt with. Owl Wolf handed a magic card to Chen Yang, which is the general card of Sha Kingdom Magic Crystal Bank. With this card, you can enter 136.5 billion in any magic crystal bank. Screen. After the transaction closes, there is no need for Chen Yang to stay here. But before leaving, he explained it to Su Sheng's. The two people he brought have been busy for hours. The entire body of the frost blue whale has already been disposed of by itself by nearly a third. According to the agreement, Chen Yang gave him 1.5 billion magic crystals. This is a fraction of Chen Yang's income, and he is too lazy to take advantage of others because of this magic crystal. After all, this is what Su Sheng's deserves. He could say no to himself. But Chen Yang had to give it. It's two different things. In this regard, Su Sheng's wanted to refuse, but Chen Yang would let him refuse, and directly threw 1.5 billion magic crystals in front of him and piled them into a hill. At last, Su Sheng's and Su Qimeng's father and daughter decided to go to the trading market to buy some equipment and skill books in Tianai City first. Chen Yang said goodbye to them and left first. Before leaving, finally, I took a look at Lu's manor and found that the whole manor was already chaotic. Due to Lu Xingzu's symptoms, many interest relationships within the Lu's group will also face a series of reshuffles. But these have nothing to do with Chen Yang. After just over 10 minutes, Chen Yang took the girls back to the villa in Xian Villa. The 7-day egg hatching journey is finally over. Chen Yang hugged the cute little Fengluan like a porcelain doll and lay down on the dining sofa. The next step is to upgrade the Phoenix Goddess to level 20 to see what conditions can make her grow up. Chen Yang thought about it. Taking her to level 20 was too easy. After all, she is Chen Yang's summoned item. When the level is low, she has a catch-up experience bonus, and almost one dungeon can raise her to level 20. Certainly, I just got home tonight, so I'd better take her to rest first. By the way, what is Feng Luan eating now? Chen Yang suddenly thought of this question. When he was eating with the other girls on the beach before, this little phoenix Tianan didn't eat. It's not that she won't eat. This little girl doesn't seem to be interested in those foods. Fengluan, what do you want to eat? Chen Yang simply hugged her directly and asked. Little Loli bit her finger and thought about it. She didn't seem to know what she wanted to eat. At this time, after taking a shower, Sylvie put on a snow-white nightdress, holding a cup of milk tea prepared by Vivian in her hand, and ran towards Chen Yang. It seems that I want to play with Feng Luan, or come to play Feng Luan. Result, little Loli suddenly stretched out her hand. The giant panda that grabbed Sylvie. Quote ? What the hell? Sylvie was a little dumbfounded all of a sudden. Still playing sneak attack, she also heard that Chen Yang was asking the little Loli what she wanted to eat, so she understood all of a sudden. No, I don't. The delicate and pure face of the elf princess suddenly turned red. It looks like a word. Run. Even Chen Yang didn't expect this scene at all. Looking at the little hand of the little loli, and at the folds that Sylvie's nightdress was caught, she was a little reluctant to look away. Probably, Xiao Fengluan is like Isa, can you give her milk? Chen Yang said with a smile. 0. This made Sylvie a little dumbfounded. She couldn't say anything about Xiao Fengluan's behavior. I'm going to ask Vivian to make a glass of milk. She turned around blushing, and quickly fell off. After drinking the milk, Chen Yang asked Vivian and Isabella to give Feng Luan a bath together. Then, let the little girl sleep with Vivian for a while. Soon, this little loli hugged Vivian's slender thighs and fell asleep, making the angel girl a little helpless. As for Chen Yang, after returning to his room, he turned on the vision of God, as usual, and observed some situations in Xian Villa and its surroundings from the perspective of God, making sure that there were no suspicious people around. Before, Chen Yang just glanced at it casually and fell asleep without finding anything. But this time, there seems to be a little surprise. In Lu Yuyao's villa next door, when Chen Yang's vision of God swept over, he suddenly found that this beautiful head teacher, just after taking a shower, a white bath towel wrapped in a graceful curve, and her long soft hair was wet with splashes. Sun. At this time, she was standing in the bedroom on the phone. Hey, 12 noon tomorrow, people. Got it, level 71 Emperor level Secret Realm, Melting Abyss, right. Ro, I contacted my former friend, the difficulty of the Emperor level Secret Realm is a bit high. Sound, she seems to be making an appointment with someone to play a copy. Chen Yang didn't care too much, and silently looked away. Then, Chen Yang let the succubus girl into the bedroom. No way, he loves learning so much, he plans to copy Isabella's homework and study the hemisphere function, the Rosenbrock Valley function and the banana function in depth. Early next morning, Chen Yang studied all night and was full of energy. Even with Isabella, her face was radiant. After all, her race was there, and one night of study actually allowed her to improve her all attributes by dozens of points, and also awakened a bloodline talent skill gate. Chen Yang took a look at her newly unlocked skills. Shadow Shield condenses a layer of shadow shield to protect yourself or allies, absorbing all damage up to 1000% of your maximum health, and under the shadow shield, it is not affected by any negative effects. This skill, it reminded Chen Yang of the witch skills in a game in the previous life. Isn't this Morgana's shield? And this is much stronger than that shield. Absorbs up to 10 times your maximum health as magic damage. This shield is equivalent to having an extra life. As expected of Isabella's racial blood skills. Certainly. When I used Angel's Tears to upgrade Isabella's talent from SS to SSS, her previous bloodline skills were also enhanced. E.g., for the initial Dark Arrow and Dark Surge, the base damage of these two skills has been doubled. There is also a previously unlocked, Dark Deprivation, skill that can deprive the target of all buffs and transfer it to itself. The duration of this effect has also been extended from 60 seconds to 120 seconds. Visible. The level of the initial talent will be increased, and the initial skills and blood skills of the 323 will be increased. After eating breakfast with the girls, Chen Yang took Xiao Fengluan and Isabella with them and went out together, ready to find a dungeon or a secret realm, and let the Phoenix Tianvi rise to level 20. It's just a matter of 1 or 2 copies anyway. Chen Yang didn't even go out of Zhongnan City, but went to the top of Su Shengji's Tianqi building. After looking at the distribution map of today's secret realm, he casually found a 48 level 8 person diamond level secret realm and entered it. Even if it's just Isabella, you can easily crush this secret realm. Or, Xiao Fengluan is not completely powerless. To Chen Yang's surprise, her fire breathing at will, and seriously breathing fire skills have the burning damage of Nirvana Fire, and they cause magic damage to the target that is a percentage of the target's health, with 10 damage per second. Although it is not true damage, this magic damage is indeed not affected by the attribute, spell defense. In other words, no matter how high the opponent's spell defense is, it cannot resist the continuous damage of Nirvana Fire. Only the attribute of Fire Resistance can effectively reduce the continuous damage of Xiaofengwei. Then, even though this little phoenix goddess was only level 1 when she first entered the secret realm, a random burst of fire can burn the mobs in the realm to death within 10 seconds. Of course, in this diamond level secret realm, the level of magic items is not too high, and the basic mobs have no flame resistance. Change to a boss level monster, or a higher level monster, after the flame resistance goes up, the continuous damage of her Nirvana fire will not be so terrible. But no, this is just the initial skill of the Phoenix Goddess. With this skill alone, even if she is only level 1, she can easily clear hundreds of level dungeons or secret realms. Just 7 minutes. Isabella crushed all the way, waving the dark staff at will, and the dark power erupted everywhere in the entire secret territory. Black hole vortex, shadow erosion, darkness surges, dark starfall, all kinds of origin or common skills, alternate shots, basically a shot as a spike. Occasionally encountering a boss or something, the little loli will join in the fun and spit 2 fires, and she is quite active. With a group of monsters were killed. Feng Luan's level increased at an extremely terrifying speed. Wait until the final boss of the secret realm is killed. Feng Luan has finally reached level 20. Phoenix Goddess, Feng Luan. Current level, 20. Strength, 201. Physique, 212. Agility, 207. 426. Currently, you can grow up in Nirvana, double all attributes, and you need Fire Elemental Essence Epic Rank *25. Chen Yang wasn't in a hurry to activate the corpse-touching halo. Instead, she first glanced at little Lolita's attribute panel. If you want Nirvana to grow up, you need 25 Fire Elemental Essences. Chen Yang was a little surprised. Elemental Essence is obtained by decomposing equipment. When forging equipment, adding the corresponding Elemental Essence can forge equipment with this attribute. E.g., if you add Fire Element Essence, when forging equipment, the forged equipment will have a higher probability with attributes such as Fire Element Resistance, Fire Damage Percentage, and additional Fire Damage. This kind of stuff is basically useless in the early stage. But in the middle and late stage, various kinds of elements are very important. Because there are many dungeons or monsters in the secret area, their attributes are relatively simple. If you want a strategy, bring a full set of element resistance equipment directly, and the difficulty of customs clearance is much lower. Moreover, there are some mutual restraint properties between elements. For example, fire element monsters will be restrained by water damage, causing higher damage. When fighting dungeons or secret realms that are dominated by fire element monsters, bringing a set of equipment with fire element resistance, additional water element damage and other attributes is definitely more effective in fighting. So, many times, single element dungeons or rift scrolls are very expensive in the market. Because the difficulty of customs clearance will be much lower in comparison. As for the Bone Burial Ground and Ancient Man's Cave, there is no fixed element damage, and it is much more difficult to fight than the single element secret realm. If only the ordinary fire element essence. Chen Yang's current bracelet can be broken down into hundreds of thousands of pieces. 82. What makes Chen Yang speechless is that this little loli actually needs 25 epic fire elemental essences to grow. This thing, only by disassembling epic equipment can it be obtained. I have a lot of legendary equipment on me. This epic equipment really doesn't exist. Chen Yang felt a little pain in the ass. Are you going to buy some at the market? It's too difficult. You must know that epic equipment is not a cabbage. In the marketplace, it's extremely difficult to buy one piece of epic gear, let alone 25. For others, epic equipment can only be exported in epic dungeons and secrets. If you drop a few pieces of equipment in a dungeon, secret realm, and you don't have enough points for yourself, how can you sell it? Even if it is sold, the price is sky high. A piece of equipment, starting at 30 billion, is still the most spicy chicken. To know, Chen Yang's previous emperor-level equipment, with good attributes, sold more than 10 billion pieces. Not to mention epic gear. Convert it down. 25 pieces of epic equipment, at least 750 billion magic crystals, even Chen Yang can't afford it now. Certainly, the easiest way is to buy an emperor-level dungeon or a secret scroll. Chen Yang goes in and sweeps around, and 25 epic-level fire element essences will be done. Chen Yang is only level 46 now. And the Emperor-level dungeons and Secret Realm scrolls are at least level 65. You must know that if it is a dungeon, Secret Realm scroll that exceeds level 49, Chen Yang will not blog if you enter it alone. Unless you call someone of the corresponding level to assist. Neither. There is only one class transferee of the corresponding level, killing monsters is too slow. And if I do it myself, I'll be on the national headlines tomorrow. Chen Yang felt a little headache. But suddenly, he recalled something. Correct. Isn't the head teacher on the phone yesterday? I think about it. Today at 12 o'clock at noon, there are still 12 people left in the 71 level Emperor level secret realm. And what is that secret realm called? The Molten Abyss. It happens to be the secret realm of the fire attribute. Chen Yang's eyes lit up. Yup, it's not enough to go directly to this secret realm, just like when you went to help Su Shengji's Tianqi building to bury his bones. When their team finishes clearing the mobs, he will just touch the corpse all the way behind, relaxed and comfortable. Certainly, Chen Yang thought about it. If he wants to get on this train, he can only use his identity. If you use the identity of a single brush genius, that identity has absolutely no connection with Lu Yuyao. 2.1 I can't say that I have a friend who wants to get on your uncharted car, right? For the time being, Chen Yang is not yet completely invincible, so he doesn't want people to link his two identities. Soon, after Chen Yang left the secret realm, he glanced at the time and found that it was a little after 8 a.m. There are still nearly 4 hours before Lu Yuyao's car's secret realm starts. So Chen Yang called Lu Yuyao and told her about it. Hello, Teacher Lu, I heard that you are going to fight an Emperor-level secret realm. It's like this, the elf priest I summoned, learned a source skill, and wants to upgrade her source skill. Can I go to that secret realm with you? Do not worry, my elf priest's auxiliary ability is full, and the amount of milk is very sufficient. And there are 2 mages who can assist, absolutely not holding back. At this time, Zhengqiu felt a little dazed because Lu Yuyao, who could not find an assistant. You, your student, actually want to get on your own car. Ah, no, to get into your car in this secret realm. Long live. This is a level 71 Emperor level secret realm. Lu Yuyao was immediately confused in the wind. She never imagined that her own student would be so courageous. This guy, he's only level 20 or 30, right? Dare to fight the Emperor level secret realm of level 71. Lu Yuyao was a little dumbfounded. Although she was also very puzzled, how did Chen Yang know that she was going to fight this secret realm? But after all, there is a big guy behind Chen Yang, and the news that she is looking for people to form a team is not a secret. It seems normal for Chen Yang to know. And for Chen Yang's reason, she can also understand. The more high-level and high-level monsters you kill, the more experience points you get from the original skills. Because of this, Chen Yang let Isabetta and Ao Qingyu upgrade their original skills at the bottom of the sea, and the upgrades will be so fast. In Lu Yuyao's view, the elf priest summoned by Chen Yang has learned the source skills and wants to find a high-level team, play a high-level dungeon, and practice the source skills level. This is a very normal idea. Then we have to see if he can mix in this secret realm. Lu Yuyao was a little helpless, and said to Chen Yang on the phone, this secret realm is a level 71 team secret realm, not only the Emperor level, but also the scale of 24 people. Even if I let you in, my team members will also would not agree. For Lu Yuyao's reaction, Chen Yang had already guessed it. But he wasn't in a hurry. Instead, he said with a smile, then you wait at home for a while, and I will ask Sylvie and the others to show you her auxiliary abilities. If you don't come up with something. It was impossible for Lu Yuyao to let him follow him in and die. He knew this very well. So, he doesn't mind showing off Sylvie's supporting abilities a little. Soon, Chen Yang flew home with Feng Luan and Isabella, and saw Lu Yuyao wearing a long snow-white dress, talking on the phone in the front yard of her villa. As a swordsman, she naturally couldn't wear a skirt when fighting. But haven't left yet, she still dresses casually at home. Sylvie, Vivian, come with me. Chen Yang called out the 2 girls he was going to bring this time, walked out of the house, and went to the door of Lu Yuyao's villa next door. Mr. Lu, here I come. Chen Yang's attitude is still good. He wanted to prostitute the other side's secret realm scroll. If this train can catch up, it can save him a lot of time. At this moment, Lu Yuyao just hung up the phone and came to open the door for him. Seeing Sylvie and Vivian behind Chen Yang, even she was amazed. These two girls are too beautiful. No matter the appearance or the figure, it is perfect. As expected of a creature summoned by the girlfriend's friend, physique. Chen Yang. Lu Yuyao nodded at him, then bit her lip, just about to persuade him to put safety first, and don't be too ambitious. Result. Chen Yang spoke first. Mr. Lu, I'm here. You form a team with me first, and you can see my gain. Question mark question mark question mark. Lu Yuyao was a little helpless. Seeing that Chen Yang had already initiated a team invitation, she accepted the invitation. A situation that shocked her happened. Her most obvious feeling is that when she joined Chen Yang's team, her whole body attributes seemed to skyrocket. Strength, physique, agility, spirit, all 4 attributes have reached an unimaginable level. At this point, she can easily feel it without even looking at the attribute bar. After all, she has long been accustomed to her previous attributes, and it is too obvious that her strength has increased rapidly. Also, the amount is terrifying. She could sense this. So she opened her attribute panel in shock. Euro 3R. What? All attributes increased by 100%. This, double the attribute. This is the SSS level talent effect, Light of the Maid, from Vivian. The improvement of attributes allows them to clear the secret realm faster, thus saving Chen Yang's own time. Most importantly, it doesn't matter whether this ability is exposed or not. Among Chen Yang's various abilities, this effect is nothing. At the same time, Lu Yuyao looked at her other attributes again, many of which remained unchanged, but one attribute became extremely terrifying, and that was defense. The bonus from Sylvie's origin skill Immortality has multiplied her defense several times. Original. With Lu Yuyao's current attributes, when he is not wearing any combat equipment, his basic defense is only 10-25 points. But now, she found that her defense had soared to more than 7,000. 7 times the defense bonus. What is this weird thing? An incomprehensible look appeared on Lu Yuyao's pretty face. It made her a little unbelievable. Wait. She blushed slightly and turned back to the villa. Then from the storage bracelet, she took out her combat equipment. A set of King Class mash-up combat light armor, leg armor, bracers, and more. According to normal circumstances, when she is fully armed, her basic defense is around 5,500 points. But now, when she put on this outfit, take a look. Everyone was dumbfounded. More than 37,000. If it wasn't for the fact that the attribute panel wouldn't be faked, she would even wonder if she had encountered some kind of bug. This defense bonus is too scary, isn't it? While this made Lu Yuyao feel incredible, she was also a little excited. She never imagined the 2 girls summoned by Chen Yang actually possess such terrifying auxiliary abilities. Just these 2 effects. Don't even need other abilities. No matter where Chen Yang goes, he must be offered as a bodhisattva. No wonder that mysterious powerhouse would value him so much. These are just 2 of the girls. Wait, when she summons more girls in the future, wouldn't that be invincible? The more Lu Yuyao thought about it, the more shocked she became. Don't say anything else. Chen Yang wants to join her team and fight with her in this emperor-level secret realm. Now she is absolutely impossible to object. Originally, she has now assembled 23 people, and there are already 3 auxiliary occupations, and the last auxiliary position is left. Chen Yang came to assist. Isn't it perfect? She never expected that when she came back to be a teacher this time, she even found a treasure for her. Then, wearing this combat equipment, she ran out of the hall and returned to Chen Yang. Have to say, this is the first time I have seen Chen Yang. The beautiful head teacher wears such a set of equipment, her long hair is tied up, and the light armor material is close to her, which outlines a perfect and graceful body curve. The package is straight and slender, with a kind of heroic demeanor. Chen Yang, your support ability is very strong. Lu Yuyao said with a dignified expression. I can let you go to this secret realm with us, but there are some things you need to pay attention to. Quote. This secret realm is the abyss of molten fire, and the objects in it are all fire damage. You need to prepare a set of fire resistance equipment, otherwise, I am afraid that even the high temperature of the environment will not be able to withstand fire damage from the environment, but does not eat defense. Directly penetrate the defense and cause damage to the transferee. If the physical attributes are not up to standard, it will definitely not be able to resist the high-temperature environment of the melting abyss. In Lu Yuyao's view, Chen Yang's level is low, and even if all attributes are doubled, it will not be able to ignore the high temperature in the molten abyss at all. Don't worry, Mr. Liu, I'm ready. Chen Yang said something casually. In fact, his current physique attributes are not weaker than Lu Yuyao and the others, not to mention, he can still open the fiery field. This god-level aura can not only heat up the surrounding environment, it can also make Chen Yang and the girls he summons immune to most of the fire damage. Not only the high temperature from the environment, but also the flame attack spewed by the monsters, can't hurt them. At least, a mere Emperor-level monster can't penetrate Chen Yang's fiery domain halo to hurt him. So fast, Lu Yuyao was a little stunned. However, thinking that with Chen Yang's current strength and the big guy behind him, it's not easy to prepare a set of anti-fighting equipment. Then, get ready, Lu Yuyao Zheng Wangs said seriously. The time for us to open the secret realm is exactly 12 o'clock noon, remember to come back after lunch, and bring some dinner. This time the secret realm is a bit more difficult, and the playing time may be longer. I have to explain to the players about your joining the team. That's how things settled. Chen Yang said goodbye to Lu Yuyao first, and then returned to the villa. It was still a long time before 12 o'clock, so he decided to take the girls and go around Weihai City first. What secret realm, what dungeon, all transformed into his experience. The only pity is, before Xiao Fengluan grows up without nirvana, she can only rise to level 20 for the time being. Because of this bundle, Chen Yang would want to take a swipe at Lu Yuyao's secret realm car. After all, this is the fastest way to make Xiao Fengluan grow up. At the same time, Lu Yuyao is here. She informed her teammates that her students were going to join the team to conquer this level 71 Emperor-level secret realm together. Now, directly caused an uproar in the group. Miss, you mean, your students are coming to type with us? Aren't you kidding? Your student? What level? Wait, didn't the eldest lady become a teacher not long ago? Her students, maybe it's less than half a month since she changed jobs. The whole group is on fire. Everyone expressed difficulty in understanding the news that Lu Yuyao sent. To know, this is a level 71 Emperor-level secret realm, or a scale of 24 people. Even the ambient temperature is as high as 60 or 70 degrees, and even higher in some boss rooms. The ambient temperature alone is not something that newcomers and transferees can resist. And the reason why it is said to be a rookie transferee. Because of, Lu Yuyao actually came from Kyoto City. She lived in Zhongnan City when she was a child, but later, she followed her parents to Kyoto City. Recently, she was very tired of competing for many interests in the family, so she chose to return to Zhongnan City and live on her own. Zhongnan City. This is a small city. Whether it is the number of job transfers every year, the strength of the top powerhouses, or the surrounding dungeons' secret realm resources, they are far inferior to Kyoto City in the center of the Xia Kingdom. But she felt the peace here after a long absence. Certainly, during this time, getting stronger is still her unshakable belief. Although Zhongnan City has relatively few surrounding resources, there is also less competition in Zhongnan City. Sometimes if there is no dungeon in the wild, she will also go to the market to buy some suitable dungeons and secret scrolls, and then find some strong friends to play with. In her teammate group, there are more than 5,000 people in total. More than half of them were her friends who were close friends in Kyoto. The other half were in Zhongnan City and had made friends with more powerful teammates. In this group of people, Lu Yuyao's strength has been recognized by everyone. As an elemental swordsman, her output in the secret realm is basically the first in the team. And after she returned to Zhongnan City, this year is my first year of class, and I usually teach some basic movement techniques, positioning, and the best way to deal with different monsters. Because she has a lot of fighting experience. So, it is very helpful for students. Chen Yang, it was the student she brought out, and she was the first batch of students who officially changed jobs. So, when she said that her students were coming, all her teammates realized that the guy had just changed jobs less than half a month ago. And face the chaos in the chat group. Lu Yuyao is also helpless. She also knows that this news will explode. But she didn't intend to be the Riddler either. He said directly in the group, His name is Chen Yang, and he is a summoner. The elf priest he summoned, and an angel, I don't know what profession for the time being. All in all, one can give us a 100% attribute aura, and one can increase our defense by about 700%. Based on his two abilities, I decided to let him join. If you have a different opinion, can you raise it now? After she said this, the people in the group, who had been talking all over the place, instantly became quiet. At this moment, the team members who were in various places preparing for this secret realm were all stunned when they heard Lu Yuyao's words from the group. 100% full attributes. 700% defense. Is it possible? If these words come from other people's mouths, they will definitely feel that the other party is hilarious. Nima, such a terrifying buff, does it really exist in this world? But these words came from Lu Yuyao's mouth. They have to consider the truth of this statement. Obviously, Lu Yuyao would not lie to them. After all, the team's secret realm strategy is imminent. Once there is a wrong estimate of one's own strength, it may lead to very serious consequences. The dead point of everyone BBAH is still good, the most terrifying is the group destruction. So, in this regard, Lu Yuyao cannot lie, so is it possible that her students lied? I tested it myself, and now he lives in the villa next to me. Lu Yuyao added. In addition, Chen Yang's talent has already been seen by big bosses, and he usually has team upgrades. This time Song is here to improve the level of 10 original skills with us. With his 2 team buffs, our raider's progress will be much faster. Dashin, how much are you finally defending now? She asked about the main tank in the team, Yinshin. It was an honest S-rank, rock soil warrior. Hearing the words, he immediately replied, more than 10,800, 17,000 with a shield. Then with his defense gain, your defense behind your shield can exceed 100,000. Lu Yuyao did the math. Hiss. For a time, everyone was shocked. 10,000 defenses. What is this concept? This is so special, unless it's a boss casting skill, you don't need to hide at all at other times. The little monsters and monsters in the 71 level Emperor level secret realm can't break his defense at all. Of course, we still have to prepare what should be prepared. Pharmaceuticals, spare equipment, etc., are all prepared according to the usual configuration. When Lu Yuyao made arrangements, her team members took action one after another, and at the same time, they were discussing a lot in private, and there was a kind of excitement and doubt about Chen Yang's arrival. These two attitudes, it's all so normal. After all, the 2 gains Lu Yuyao mentioned were all a little shocking. Judging from this situation, the girl summoned by Chen Yang definitely has S$ talent. This summoner, unheard of in the world. However, this possibility is very low. So many people speculated that the boy himself had SSS level talent and could increase the ability of summoned objects. If so, then everything makes sense. Pity, what they don't know is, these 2 gains are completely the abilities of Vivian and Sylvie. Really want to count Chen Yang's own talents? Then these people are afraid that they will kneel down and worship on the spot. Around 11:30 noon, Chen Yang returned from Tianai City with the daughters. Because he had been hatching eggs for 7 consecutive days, Chen Yang did not pay attention to the secret realm of Tianai City, which made the major forces in Tianai City relax a little, and did not send someone to occupy the secret realm in advance. Then, this time, Chen Yang passed by and swept several high-quality secret realms with ease. Especially in the secret area under the jurisdiction of the Knowles group. Chen Yang is simply running around. Because the Lu group is very chaotic now, and there is no one to take care of the dungeons and secret realms outside. Just over 2 hours down, Chen Yang took the girls and raised the level to 48. Only 2 levels away, and the 6th girl can be summoned again. Chen Yang was not in a hurry. After finishing Lu Yuyao's secret realm and letting Xiao Fengluan grow into nirvana, he will be able to finish the last level too soon. There is still half an hour before the opening of the secret realm. Chen Yang took the girls back for a meal first. While eating, Chen Yang glanced at the international news that just came out. The news said that the body of a 139 level epic frost blue whale was found on the east coast last night. When the staff collected materials, they found that there were many broken frozen bodies in the belly of this behemoth. Identified. These corpses are all transferees from the Sakura country. This news, it quickly spread all over the world, making many experts in Sakura country clamoring to let Shogwo speak, and at the same time, they were speechless. Don't they want Shogwo to be responsible for this incident and find those whalers? Now, found it. Although the corpses were found, they were swallowed by monsters. Could it be that Shogwo should be held responsible? And when the news came out, the family members and friends of the whalers in the Sakura country expressed their hope that the Sha country would return their bodies. Next, naturally, it is a popular bargaining session. To return the bodies of these whalers, first of all, the Sakura kingdom must apologize to the Sha kingdom, otherwise it will be avoided. And after the apology, Sakura country has to pay enough price. Certainly, these corpses are actually of little value, because in the era of job transfer, once the job transfer person dies outside, all the equipment on the body will be invalid. Therefore, there is no such thing as murder in this world. Robbery is okay, but killing is no good. Therefore, when a lot of bosses act outside, they save a lot of things to give to the juniors, lest when the bosses die, everything will be brought into the coffin. For these news, Chen Yang just casually glanced at it and didn't pay too much attention. Sakura country. This country is said to be miserable at the beginning of the era of national transfer. Because the area is too small, but the population is large, many people who have transferred jobs have been sent out of the country in order to grab copies and secret realms. The number of people who died in the battle for the secret realm is at least 5 or 6 times as many as the Sha kingdom. It didn't stabilize until more than 10 years later, because their country's population has plummeted by 70% in these 10 years. Think back to this knowledge from the history books. Chen Yang felt that this country was really miserable. There were fewer people. This time, he directly killed more than 40 powerhouses with a level of 130 or more, which was tantamount to an earthquake for the cherry blossom country. Soon, after Chen Yang took the girls to eat, he asked Isabella to take Xiao Fengluan at home. As usual, Ao Qingyu cultivated by herself. The rest of Sylvie and Vivian are going out with Chen Yang, ready to go to the secret realm. Just when Chen Yang set off. Outside Zhongnan City, it is far away from the rubble in the urban area. There are already 23 people gathered. It is the secret realm team organized by Lu Yuyao. This place used to be said to be a popular scenic mountain area, but in the early years, the entire mountain peak was shattered by top-level monsters pouring out, forming such a vast pile of rocks. And this place, it is the guild where Lu Yuyao belongs, and the secret realm is always opened. In the field, all the men and women were all ready to go, but there were doubts and worries between everyone's eyebrows. Although Lu Yuyao said so. But they always thought it was too unreliable. Can a rookie summoner who has just changed careers really do it? Chapter 91. Soon, Chen Yang flew Sylvie and Vivian all the way to the vicinity, and then walked out of the woods slowly. When he appeared in front of Lu Yuyao and others, everyone was a little surprised. Lu Yuyao's student, so handsome. Besides, the angels and elves he brought are too beautiful, right? Originally in this secret realm team, Lu Yuyao was definitely the most dazzling one. Although there were other girls with good looks, they were obviously not on the same level as Lu Yuyao. But now, when Chen Yang brought the 2 summoned girls into the team, Lu Yuyao didn't seem so dazzling. The transfer person, Chen Yang, has joined the team. Soon, following Lu Yuyao's invitation, Chen Yang joined the team. This time, he did not remain anonymous, but used the identity of the deity anyway. That's the moment he joined the team. The people in the audience who were originally suspicious all sounded an endless stream of exclamations. All attributes plus 100%, double directly. Defense increased 6 or 7 times. Are these 2 gains really there? For a time, everyone looked at Chen Yang's eyes again, and they all changed a lot. Let's go, I'm in a hurry. Chen Yang spoke on the team channel. Lu Yuyao didn't say much nonsense. What should be said, Chen Yang has already said it before he arrives. I saw that she took out a sheepskin scroll from the storage bracelet, and after using it, a fiery red whirlpool appeared on the edge of the lake. That is the entrance to the secret realm of Melting Abyss. This secret realm has a total of 9 bosses, and the overall difficulty is still very high. After all, it is the highest level secret realm under the epic level. Originally, there was a shortage of support candidates, and they wanted to look for them in Kyoto City. In the end, Lu Yuyao called for a student to come over. The key point is that this student seems to be a bit of a legend. Isn't this auxiliary buff too strong? Soon, Chen Yang followed the crowd into the secret realm. Hot field, the halo is turned on. Of course, this halo only covers Chen Yang and his two sisters. As for the others, who cares about them? Anyway, they also prepared fire resistance equipment. The high temperature has little effect. A group of transferees filed in. The lava abyss is divided into 9 layers. It is obviously a civilized building. There are bricks and walls around it, but magma is flowing everywhere, and the air is also mixed with high temperature. Once ordinary people enter this place, they will be dehydrated and die in a few minutes. But Lu Yuyao and the others had high enough combat power and prepared corresponding equipment, so the high temperature environment didn't affect them too much. After entering the secret realm, people don't pay much attention to Chen Yang. Because, don't be distracted at this time. Moreover, in their eyes, Chen Yang just brought 2 auxiliary summons, just have a halo, and they don't need to take care of Chen Yang or anything. Anyway, Chen Yang just needs to stay behind, don't go up and die. 24 Team Secret Realm. In such a large-scale secret realm, the monster attributes are also very high. And because it is Emperor level, the overall difficulty of this Molten Abyss is more difficult than the level 97 Bone Burial Ground that Chen Yang helped to fight before, and the little monster's blood volume has doubled. Fortunately, Lu Yuyao and the others are all elites, and the entire team is basically S-rank powerhouse. Therefore, the overall strength is much stronger than that of the previous Tianqilo team. Soon, everyone moved forward and encountered the first wave of more than 30 little monsters, the Molten Lizard. The main tank, Dashan, Shield rushed forward, a roar, a provocation, and firmly pulled the hatred of the Molten Salamander. ... These lizards spit flames one by one, and those flames fell on the mountain in an instant. As a result, he was either blocked by the shield of the mountain, or smashed into the armor he was wearing, but was separated by a layer of divine light, making it impossible to break the defense at all. This is the effect of the original skill, Imperfect Soup. A time. Everyone in the team is amazed, this is too fierce, right? If this were to be changed to normal. This group of mobs, they all scored several batches to fight, because a tank simply can't resist the siege of all the molten salamanders. But now there is no need to be so troublesome. Pulled together directly, various group attack skills have sprung up like mushrooms after a rain. Chen Yang watched. For the output of these people, I am still a little speechless. I originally thought that those who can beat the Emperor level are the elites among the elites, but the result. One by one, the damage to a single unit is only over 1,000. Certainly, more than 100,000 seconds of injury at around level 70 is really not bad. You must know that the team in the Tianqi building before was more than 90 level people, and the average injury was only 50,000 to 60,000 seconds. But, just these people, each with more than 100,000 seconds of injury, it is really too tortured to get through this secret realm. Especially for Chen Yang, he has long been accustomed to Saint and speedrun. It's really unnecessary to let him be tortured in this secret realm for an afternoon. It seems that Lu Yuyao's output is at its high point, and can deal more than 200,000 single-second injuries. And that other guy, a water mage. Chen Yang saw a flat-headed youth in his early 20s in the crowd. He was holding a staff and wearing a blue robe. He could do hundreds of thousands of damage by throwing a single skill. Although there is a bonus to the damage of water-based spells to fire-based monsters, the damage is really good. It seems that this guy's skills and equipment are quite good. In this Molten Abyss dungeon, this guy's output is second only to Lu Yuyao. Certainly, Lu Yuyao also took advantage of this. After all, her profession is an elemental swordsman. Now, in this secret realm, she is directly attacked by water-cutting skills, which also increases the damage. Overall, this team is indeed an elite team. If you want to conquer the epic-level secret realm, you must have to change a few people, but playing an emperor-level secret realm is not a big problem. However, for Chen Yang, they are still too slow. It is impossible for Chen Yang to give them a god-level aura, but it is no problem for Sylvie to add fire to them. All kinds of gain statuses were immediately released by her. Attack increases by 65%. 40% faster speed. Cooldown reduced by 25%. These states are all skills that Sylvie has learned, such as Diamond level, King level. With her SSS level talent bonus, the effects of these skills have become extremely terrifying. When she unleashes these skills, Lu Yuyao and other DPS players seem to be fighting chicken blood for a while. It almost doubled the speed directly and cleared this wave of molten salamanders. Lu Yuyao's single-second injury directly soared to more than 600,000. This scene, Lu Yuyao was dumbfounded. The other three auxiliary professions in the team, 2 girls and a young man, all went to Chen Yang in the back like a ghost. This is so special, is it too fierce? Attack increased by 65%. It almost doubled. To know. The original support in this team also has similar boosting skills, but they are all increased by about 20%. After all, they don't have SSS level talent like Sylvie. Moreover, high-grade and powerful auxiliary skills are sky-high in the market, and even those at their level are not so easy to buy. Result: what level of elf priest is this? And when he raises his hand, he can increase his attack by 65%. I'm going, Mrs. Student, is it so perverted? I feel like I'm in a dream. 40% faster is so cool. Is this the real super genius? I really envy his teammates on the regular team. What a peculiar thing. This makes my output of an S-rank talent almost comparable to that of an SSS rank. Don't compare like that. You should think, if someone's SSS level buffs take these buffs, how much more powerful than you are. A basin of cold water was poured down, making many people feel a little uncomfortable. Right, with such a terrifying support as Chen Yang, only other geniuses at the SSS level are worthy of being on the same team as him, right? But what they don't know is, the combat power that Chen Yang has shown now is completely just Chu Yimin, his true strength. But anyway, now Chen Yang is on this team. They have eaten so many buffs, and each person's combat power has soared at least twice. After destroying this group of mobs, people go straight ahead. Because under normal circumstances, it is basically impossible for such mobs to drop any equipment. You go first, I'll stay away, so as not to be affected by any skills. Rest assured, my buffs and auras have a wide range. Chen Yang said something to everyone. The crowd didn't care too much, instead they were very enthusiastic to let him pay attention to safety. Wait until everyone walks to the front and turns a corner and encounters another wave of monsters. Chen Yang was near the previous wave of monster corpses, turning on the various corpse-touching halos. Ding, ding, ding. Several red lights emerged from the monster's corpse. 3 pieces of epic equipment, 1 epic skill book. These 3 pieces of equipment, it's useless. But this skill book is very valuable, isn't it? Epic Priest Skill Book, Holy Amplification. After obtaining the buff, can make teammates' attacks with 12% additional holy damage ignore defense. Of course, this skill can only be learned at level 71. Chen Yang didn't care either, and put the skill book away first. The other 3 pieces of epic equipment were decomposed by him into Fire Elemental Essence Epic. According to this speed, after this secret realm is finished, the essence of destroying elements can definitely be gathered. Know that this first wave is just mobs. There are 9 bosses behind. And if others see it, he directly decomposes after obtaining the epic equipment. I am afraid that he even wants to die. People are desperately trying to get rid of their family wealth, but they can't get a piece of epic equipment. The result is here at Chen Yang. Directly decompose. Are the rich people doing this now? At this time, Chen Yang had a big harvest in the back. Others cleaned up another wave of monsters in front. In addition to Lu Yuyao, there are several girls in this team, including one of her best friends, whose body and appearance are all on the level, but their faces are a little round. At this moment, the best friend quietly pulled Lu Yuyao's arm. Yuyao, do you have this student's V letter? Push it to me. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Lu Yuyao glanced at her best friend, and said without doubt, you wouldn't want to date him, would you? No, how is it possible? Her best friend immediately shook her head. I just want to get to know this genius. You see that the girls he summoned are so beautiful, how could he possibly like me? Not for you, I want to go by myself. Lu Yuyao chuckled lightly and continued to fight monsters with her sword. Plastic girlfriend. The girl looked helpless. She looked back and found that Chen Yang had followed from a distance, and sighed secretly. When she saw that Chen Yang was so handsome, she thought that Chen Yang was so strong. Like it for sure, but she can also think that such a genius must have little interaction with her, making her a little sad. Sudden, she looked at Lu Yuyao's slender back and had an idea. My best friend, wouldn't you want to take this student by yourself? Seriously speaking, with Lu Yuyao's identity, it doesn't seem to be worthy of this genius, right? After all, Lu Yuyao's father is an SSS-level powerhouse, and sooner or later, he will be promoted to a town-level existence. Chen Yang naturally didn't know about these things. He followed leisurely. After everyone else continues to move forward, continue to open the halo of touching the corpse, and harvest batches of epic loot. It didn't take long. Everyone came to the first boss, outside the room of the Molten Lizard King. According to the normal style of play, it must be first to test and find out the skills of the boss. But now everyone has support from Chen Yang. All attributes are doubled, attack, defense, etc. have all been greatly improved, so there is no need to be the same as before. All in the most violent way, fast output. Under Sylvie's various buffs, the group's overall damage per second increased by 2 times. The Molten Lizard King, who originally had 450 million HP, normally takes at least 5 to 6 minutes to fight, and the most important thing is that he is likely to encounter unforeseen dangers, resulting in team members being injured or even killed. But now, in just over a minute, they were pushed over by Liping. This made everyone in the team feel very emotional. High attributes and high defense, it's cool. Many of the skills of the Molten Lizard King, the main tank does not need to hide, directly eat without taking any damage. Before it was replaced, this little boss was not so easy to fight. Especially for some remote output occupations, once they use skills, they may be seriously injured or even die on the spot. And now, the water-type mage has eaten several skills, and it is not a big problem, and the priest will be milked directly. Anyway, Chen Yang was bored to observe from the back, and found that the young water mage seemed to be paying attention to himself. Although Chen Yang is now the focus of the whole group, the frequency of the young water mage paying attention to him is much more than others. In addition, that guy often pays attention to Lu Yuyao. Chen Yang couldn't help but think, wouldn't this guy like Lu Eryao? Could it be that my appearance made him feel threatened? Chen Yang was a little helpless. It seems that it is not good for people to vomit and be too strong. It's easy to be jealous. But, after all, Chen Yang's ability and identity are here, and that guy will not offend Chen Yang without his eyesight. After all, there are few brainless villains like the novel. The first boss came out with a piece of Emperor-level equipment with good attributes. This team is very happy. This piece of equipment, coupled with the final boss must drop a piece, has made this secret realm return to its original value. To know, this Rift Scroll was bought by the team crowdfunding. As long as it is shipped, everyone can share the money. And when they moved on, Chen Yang is behind, facing the Molten Salamander King, turning on the halo of touching the corpse. 4 red lights exploded directly, and all 4 were epic equipment. Chen Yang picked it up and glanced at it. 3 of the attributes were not good, so he directly decomposed them. But there is also an epic dark animal husbandry equipment. The attributes are very good. If you put it on the auction house, you can definitely get a high price of more than 100 billion magic crystals. Anyway, Chen Yang estimated that after finishing this dungeon, he must have more than 25 pieces of epic equipment. In this case, keep the good attributes first, there is no need to break them down directly. Next, with his assistance, the entire team was destroyed all the way. For them, this speed is too fast, and it is simply flying. But for Chen Yang, slow, I can't blame it for a second, this secret realm is too uncomfortable to fight. But, in the case of not needing to worry about defense, this group of people is quite efficient. After all, Chen Yang said at the beginning, he is in a hurry. Originally, many people thought that he was filling a cup. But now I realize, this boy is a real bully. Soon, the second boss, the third boss. After more than an hour, everyone has been pushed to the last floor of the last boss Molten Abyss. What Chen Yang didn't expect was, the big boss on the last floor turned out to be a Dark Phoenix. And this Dark Phoenix has become the biggest difficulty for the entire team to clear this secret realm. Even with the help of Chen Yang, their output, still a little bit worse. Because as long as the Dark Phoenix is not killed within the time limit, the Phoenix can be reborn and full of blood. And this limited time is 320 seconds. You must know that the blood volume of this Dark Phoenix has reached as much as 1.2 billion. It can be said that it is extremely difficult to kill it in just over 5 minutes. Everyone didn't expect it. This final boss turned out to be so outrageous. Even if they have the support of Sylvie and Vivian, they are always close to outputting. When the Dark Phoenix was resurrected twice, everyone was cast in a shadow. This way they can't kill the boss. Without Chen Yang's help, wouldn't they even think about it? This final boss can only give up. When the time limit for the secret realm is up, the Dark Phoenix will flow directly into reality, and then the strong will have to be guarded and the Dark Phoenix will be killed directly. In this case, they are missing a piece of Emperor-level equipment that must be dropped. If it is not good, it will be tens of billions of magic crystals. With our output, it's still not enough. It looks like it can only be. Lu Yuyao felt a little uncomfortable. Just when she wanted to give up, Chen Yang couldn't stand it anymore. Are these guys too weak? Sylvie, go and help them. Chen Yang waved his hand. Even in this situation, he was too lazy to do it himself. In fact, with his current attributes and skills, his output per second was even higher than Lu Yuyao's. Although he is a summoner, his attack skills are not weak. Unbreakable, Holy Shield, Deadly Eye, Unlimited Firepower. 4 God-level halos, open directly. Certainly. Chen Yang limited these auras to only take effect on Sylvie. And the elf princess, who had been suffocated until now, saw that she finally had room to play, and immediately became excited. Holding the staff in his little hand, he ran over in a frenzy. During the fierce battle, Lu Yuyao and the others really didn't notice Sylvie's approach at the first time. Until, just when they all wanted to give up, suddenly, the blood volume of the Dark Phoenix began to go crazy. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Holy array. Platinum level priest attack skills. Inflicts continuous damage to all enemies within range. Although it is only a platinum level skill, under the blessing of Chen Yang's various auras, Sylvie's damage explodes directly. Because of the infinite firepower, she has a sacred magic circle every 2 seconds, and the damage of the sacred magic circle can be superimposed. Therefore, with the Dark Phoenix, a maximum of 5 sacred magic circles can be stacked under the feet of the Dark Phoenix. Sylvie's damage reached the maximum. The second injury is soaring. On the team damage list. Originally, Lu Yuyao had the highest second injury, but the current second injury is more than 580,000 points. B. When Sylvie shot, Chen Yang's second injury has skyrocketed to more than 2 million all the way. This elf princess is Chen Yang's summon, and her damage is naturally Chen Yang's damage. It's still because Chen Yang asked Sylvie to only use platinum level skills, otherwise, if diamond and king level attack skills are used, the second damage can even soar to 7 or 8 million, which is a bit too shocking. Just under everyone's stunned expressions, the big boss Dark Phoenix was drained of blood in just 3 minutes. It turned into a burst of black flames and ashes, and dissipated in the deepest part of this molten abyss. When this final boss dies, a golden light and a red light burst out, making everyone's eyes bright. Lu Yuyao stepped forward to pick it up. Display the item on the team channel. One of the Emperor-level equipment that must be dropped is naturally useless to Chen Yang. But another thing made Chen Yang a little surprised. Phoenix Feather. Fire element material, can be used to create equipment. Simple information, but there is a line of small characters, which only Chen Yang can see. Phoenix Heavenly Maiden can absorb the energy in this feather and randomly obtain the ability of a Dark Phoenix. And such good things. Chen Yang was a little surprised. He didn't think much about it, and directly chatted with Lu Yuyao, "Can you give me this Phoenix Feather?" He didn't say buy it. After all, without him, the other party would not be able to clear this secret realm at all. Sure, Lu Yuyao didn't know what this thing was for, it looked like it was just a material, so she agreed immediately. In addition, after we sell out the thing, the income will be divided equally, about 2 or 3 days, we will give you the magic crystal at that time. For this, Chen Yang agreed casually and didn't care too much. Soon, Lu Yuyao gave Chen Yang the Phoenix Feather. After waiting for everyone to leave, Chen Yang finally touched the body of the Dark Phoenix. Result: 3 phoenix feathers, exploded directly. Isn't this a bloody profit? Many of the skills of this dark phoenix are quite good, especially the skills of Nirvana rebirth. Chen Yang thought to himself, if Xiao Fengluan could absorb the rebirth skills, wouldn't it be invincible? Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Just over an hour. Level 71 Emperor level secret realm clearance. Lu Yuyao and others were all excited, and originally wanted to invite Chen Yang to dinner or something. After all, they have harvested 5 pieces of Emperor level equipment in this wave, which belongs to blood. Pity. What they don't know is that Chen Yang, the 6th, earns more than 100 times more than them. As for their dinner invitation, Chen Yang naturally went quickly. After saying goodbye to Lu Yuyao directly, he returned home. It's time to let Xiao Fengluan Nirvana grow up. Of course, before that, Chen Yang first brought her 4 phoenix feather, let her absorb the energy and see what skills can be obtained. Purple Cloud Villa. Chen Yang's villa. All the girls gathered and formed a circle around Xiao Fengluan, watching her holding 4 black phoenix feathers in her hands, and they began to absorb them one by one. A burst of black flames was released from the phoenix feather. It turned into pure flame energy and merged into Feng Luan's petite body. Your summon, Feng Luan, absorbs the power of the phoenix feather and unlocks the skill, Black Domain, Area Attack Skill. Your summon, Phoenix Luan, absorbs the power of the phoenix feather and unlocks the bloodline talent, Dark Fire SS level. All fire damage penetrates 50% fire resistance. Your summon, Feng Luan, absorbs the power of the phoenix feather and unlocks the skill, Black Fire Whirlwind, Area Attack Skill. Your summon, Phoenix Luan, absorbs the power of the phoenix feather and unlocks the ability, Flame Rebirth SS level. Rebirth after death, cooldown for 320 seconds. Until the energy of the last phoenix feather was absorbed. Finally unlocked the ability, Flame Rebirth. But unfortunately, this is only SS level ability. After all, the source of this ability is only the final boss of the Emperor level secret realm. However, under the effect of my infinite firepower aura, her rebirth only takes 32 seconds. Although the summoned objects themselves will not die. But if there is no rebirth, it will have to be summoned every other day. With rebirth, it will be much more convenient. Besides, 211 range attack skills, and an additional SS level talent, Dark Fire, which allows all her fire damage to penetrate 50% of her fire resistance, this time the harvest is quite good. Finally, Chen Yang took out 25 epic fire elemental essences from the bracelet. As the energy of the fire element essence was absorbed into her body, several layers of spark barriers were formed around her. In the sight of Chen Yang and the girls, those spark barriers gradually condensed into a golden eggshell, and gradually wrapped Feng Luan in it. Your summon, Fengluan, has entered the stage of Nirvana. During the process of Nirvana, she will gain more inheritance memories, awaken more skills and grow into the sky. Seeing that she had turned into an egg again, Chen Yang was a little dumbfounded. This is so special, again. It seems that it is really difficult to raise this phoenix goddess. The materials for this first Nirvana alone are not something that ordinary people can gather together. Ordinary people are thankful that the phoenix goddess can grow up to Nirvana after working hard for decades. If it wasn't for Chen Yang who summoned Feng Luan. Others don't have this condition at all, they can't afford to smash the pot and sell iron. Chen Yang took a look. The Nirvana time of Benedict takes a total of 24 hours. Next, Chen Yang couldn't waste time either, but first put the golden phoenix egg in the basement, and then took the rest of the girls out to continue leveling. You're 2 levels away from level 50. Not only can you unlock the 11th Halo slot, but you can also perform the 6th summon. For this call, Chen Yang has also been looking forward to it for a long time. A phoenix goddess dragged him a lot of development time, but the final result was still gratifying. After all, Feng Luan was born with a sub-divine talent. As long as she grows up, her combat power can completely overwhelm all the current state level talents. And next, what race will the girl he summoned for the 6th time come from? Nine-tailed fox, night elf, fallen angel. Chen Yang recalled the pictures on the ancient book, in which angels and spirits were fulfilled. Then, one afternoon, Chen Yang commutes to and from the surrounding cities, and at his speed, he can fly freely within 1,000 or 2,000 kilometers, just like in the back garden of his own home. I randomly found some team secret realms, and went in and singled out. Around 5 in the afternoon. His level has finally been raised to level 50. Since the location where he played the book is relatively scattered, no one will target him and enter the secret realm in advance to occupy a position. The efficiency of his leveling has also improved a lot. After reaching level 50, Chen Yang went straight back home. Begin the call of the sixth maiden. And when he started the summoning ceremony, he and Sylvie, Isabella and other girls were a little surprised. This time, it turned out that some mysterious black mist appeared, forming a spooky summoning circle on the ground. This time the girl looks a little evil. Everyone was a little curious. And when the basic frame of the magic circle is formed by the black mist, some white lines gradually appear, which outlines a delicate body in the space. A girl with short black hair in a white shirt appeared in front of everyone. The girl looked a little disheveled, and her exposed skin looked pale and had a morbid feeling. And there was a smile on the corner of her mouth, obviously in a good mood. Her short black hair made her look very lively, and 10 pairs of gray pupils were interested in the surrounding situation. This is, what race, what occupation? When Chen Yang saw this girl, he suddenly became interested. Say nothing else. Just her disheveled appearance made people unable to hold back. The moment she saw her perfect face, a word popped into Chen Yang's mind: shame. No, not 7 feet, but Tong Yan. Before Chen Yang stepped forward to check her attributes, the girl actually walked towards Chen Yang. Her whole body exudes a grayish-white aura of forest cold, which makes people feel a little cold, but for Chen Yang, the owner, it is naturally irrelevant. Master, my name is Gui Meishi, I'm a Yama. She came to Chen Yang. Wei Wei stood on tiptoe, looked at him, and could see that he seemed very interested in Chen Yang. Yama. Chen Yang was a little surprised. What kind of job is this? I have never heard of it. Another special occupation. TB. Ghostly. Why does this name feel a little familiar? I seem to have seen it in some novel. However, Chen Yang didn't think much of it. Since the other party was very polite, he also treated him politely. Hello, my name is Chen Yang, and I am your summoner. At this time, he opened the other party's attribute panel, and the first thing he saw was the life attribute. Yan Luo girl. Ghostly. Age. Height. 155 centimeters. Weight. 43 kilograms. Bust. D. Leg length. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Have to say, not only does this girl look young, but her height is also very short. She is half a head shorter than Sylvie. But she is not small. It doesn't look very flavorful. Chen Yang didn't look much, and then switched to her combat attribute. Yan Luo. Ghostly. Current level. 50. 4,255. Physique. 4,575. 4,198. 17,884. Talent. Yan Luo changed fate demigod level. You can change the fate, greatly improve the talent effect of the target, but will get an additional negative effect. Can be used multiple times on the same target. Each use needs to consume the soul of a boss level monster. Skill 1. Death Harvest. Harvest the target's life, dealing massive dark spell damage. If the target's HP is lower than 30%, kill it directly. Cooldown for 10 seconds. Skill 2. Yama's life continues. Short-term resurrection. The higher the spirit, the longer the duration, currently lasts up to 227 seconds. Each use needs to consume 10 souls of boss-level monsters. What's the situation? Why so many question marks? Chen Yang was a little dumbfounded. The girl he summoned before has never had such a situation, and why did this Yama girl appear at level 50 every day? What's so strange about that? Hearing Chen Yang's doubts, Gui Meishi smiled slightly, because when I was summoned by you, I had already been to countless worlds. According to the level, there should be more than 70,000 levels now. As soon as the words came out, Chen Yang and others were all dumbfounded. This little girl has more than 70,000 pulls. So to say, is it because after being summoned by Chen Yang, the level of a summoned item cannot exceed Chen Yang's level at most, so it was forcibly suppressed to level 50? If this chick wasn't bragging, then she's a real beast. But, no matter how good it is, now it's just a summoning thing under Chen Yang's hands. Hearing her words, Chen Yang's face became solemn and reminded her, We have an old saying, let's not talk about the level, civilize you and me. What did you just say? You have more than 70,000 levels bar. Question mark question mark question mark. The girl from Yama was ghostly, and when she heard this, she took a deep look at Chen Yang. This man who summons himself. Something is wrong. No, it's not a bit, it's very wrong. Chen Yang doesn't care if this girl is really over 70,000. As soon as the girl came up and called him master, it was obvious that she was still very obedient. This made Chen Yang a little suspicious. She said that she has more than 70,000 levels. I'm afraid she's not bragging. I wanted to order her to tell the truth, but think about it. After all, she is here with Chen Yang, which is the same level as Chen Yang, and she has to obey Chen Yang's orders. Let's get acquainted with people first. Immediately after, Chen Yang started researching her talents and skills. Yama, this profession seems to have something. The most important thing is that her talent seems a bit outrageous. Chen Yang checks her talent. The demigod level talent is only one step away, just like his god level halo talent. This level of talent can be said to be unable to be improved with angel tears. Has reached the top. From this point of view, this girl Gaimeshi said that her level is more than 70,000, and it is not necessarily a lie. Certainly, Chen Yang mainly paid attention to her demigod talent effect. Yan Luo changed his life. Can he directly modify the destiny and greatly improve the talent effect of others? It looks fierce, it's an auxiliary talent. However, its passive effect is that after participating in assists or killing boss-level monsters, it can capture the opponent's soul. The souls she has accumulated, and each time she reaches a certain number, she can unlock a new skill. This girl's situation is different from the other girls summoned by Chen Yang. Ao Qingyu cultivates to improve her attributes. Fengluan needs Nirvana to grow up. Isabella is that as long as she copies her homework, she can increase her attributes and unlock skills. Vivian has a chance to unlock new skills by leveling up. This Gaimeshi needs to collect the soul of the boss. Interesting. And what Chen Yang is most concerned about now is, of course, the talent of Gaimeshi. What is the so-called significant increase in talent effect? Gui Meishi, can you use this talent now? Chen Yang asked. Without a soul, it's useless. The girl ghostly spread her hands. Let's go, I'll take your soul. Chen Yang didn't bother, and immediately took her and planned to go out. Wait, I'm starving now, eat something first. The girl patted her belly. You are over 70,000, and you still need to eat. Chen Yang was a little surprised. Certainly. Gui Meishi puffed out her chest and pursed her lips. And let me tell you in advance that this lady eats more than 100 million points, you won't be able to support me, will you? That won't work, just eat. Chen Yang snapped his fingers. Let the angel maid Vivian run over and let her start cooking. What do you want to eat? Tell her directly, she has learned a lot of recipes recently, as long as Blue Star has it, she can make it. In fact, Vivian doesn't come out of nowhere. Every time she makes a dish, she needs to consume a lot of mana. By comparison, Chen Yang's god-level halo is nothing. When the god-level aura of the source of magic is turned on, she can have an infinite amount of mana. Then, something that surprised the Yama girl happened. I saw that Vivian raised her hand and it was a dish, and when she raised her hand, it was another dish. In less than 10 seconds, she made a table of dishes for her. Question mark question mark question mark. Gui Meishi looked at the dishes on the table, then at Vivian, and finally at Chen Yang, and asked suspiciously, is this ready? No, I'm doing it now. Chen Yang explained. How is this possible? Gui Meishi didn't believe it at all. Whether she is more than 70,000 level will not be mentioned, but one thing is certain, she has indeed been to many different worlds. But in any world, I have never seen such an outrageous scene appeared. These dishes are still steaming hot. You said you eat a little too much. Then Vivian, make some more for her. Well, you say what you want to eat, and she will do it for you. Chen Yang said, meatballs, lion head, meatballs, lion head, meatballs. So she started reporting the name of the dish. Thought. With so many repetitive dishes, this angel can't be prepared in advance, right? Result. Pieces of meatballs and lion heads were rubbed out by Vivian and displayed in front of Gui Meishi. Ah, this. Gui Meishi opened her mouth, not knowing what to say. At this time, she was a little suspicious of herself. Is it false that you have so much experience in traveling around the world? Eat quickly, and go out with me after eating to kill monsters. Chen Yang patted her head. It made the short-haired girl's face a little red, but she was still very obedient and quickly started eating. Needless to say, this girl really eats a lot. But oddly enough, no matter how she eats, her belly is always flat, without the slightest bulge, which is amazing. At this time, while she was eating, Chen Yang looked at her initial skills. 30% life harvesting, beheading skills, this is not bad. And this skill can also work on boss, it's a bit fierce. As for the continuation of Yama's life, it is even more tiger, and it can actually make the dead live for a while. Although I don't know what it is for now. It sounds so dangling. This made Chen Yang couldn't help thinking, what skills can this Yama girl unlock in the future? To unlock the next skill, she first needs 10 boss souls, which is too easy. Chen Yang didn't take it to heart at all. Soon, this young girl, Wei Meishi, ate a table of dishes all by herself, and finally stopped, rubbing her stomach with satisfaction. What? At this time, Sylvie was a little naughty and curious, and ran up to touch the girl's stomach. You eat so much, why doesn't your stomach respond at all? Because, as soon as I ate everything, I moved it to another space and lost it. When Wei Meishi saw Sylvie, her eyes lit up. Can't believe there are spirits here. What? Sylvie was a little envious. Then don't you? Can you keep eating? Keep eating. You can eat a lot of delicious food, but you won't be able to eat it. Right. Ghostly nodded earnestly. In other words, you are either hungry or greedy, right? Chen Yang heard what she meant, and was a little speechless. This is so. Where did the strange girl come from? Right. Yama girl smiled sweetly. For your size, just follow me. Chen Yang supported her forehead, stretched out her hand and pulled her out. Isabella followed closely. Shenyan Halo, wind power, wind power. All kinds of god-level auras were activated, and he flew with the two girls to the wild of Zhongnan City in an instant, and found a few dungeons to go in. After half an hour, when Chen Yang returned with 2 daughters, Yama girls have collected the souls of a total of 12 monster bosses. This allows her to unlock her first perk. Skill 3, Yama Secret Mantra. Recite the Yama Secret spell to form a ghost spell, blasting the target soul, making it temporarily unable to make any action. The higher the target's mental attribute, the shorter the duration. Cooldown for 300 seconds. This is a super control skill. You must know that Wei Meishi already has super high spiritual attributes, and the control time of this skill is extremely long. Take the final boss of the small dungeon just now as an example. She just released the Yam Luo Mi mantra, and blasted the soul of the boss out of the body, making the boss unable to act for more than 5 minutes. Boss is still the case. Change to another job transfer. Isn't that a direct kill? It can be said. Unless it's a top-level powerhouse at the town level, or he will be attacked by a ghost, and his soul will go out of his body, even if it is only 10 seconds, Chen Yang Qian Zhao can easily kill the opponent. As for the town-level powerhouse, there are some means of pressing the bottom of the box. If you want to deal with it, it is not as easy as you think. Certainly, at this stage, Chen Yang didn't plan to be hostile to the powerhouses of the town level, but the unlocking of this skill gave Chen Yang a new trump card. And after returning home, Yama girl, her attitude towards Chen Yang has also changed a bit. Originally, she thought that Chen Yang was just an ordinary human summoner. Result: what do you actually have? A god-level aura like 10 times the attack and 10 times the defense. These halos, taken out alone, the functions are too single, but these auras are all brought together, to create an extremely terrifying existence word. Even Wei Meishi, a well-informed character, was a little shocked. Certainly, Chen Yang didn't have time to shock her. After returning to the villa, he gathered all the girls together. Gai Meishi's talent can greatly enhance your talent, who of you will try it first? I come. Sylvie volunteered herself, her pretty face full of anticipation. I suggest. Let the master try it directly. The Yama girl pursed her lips and smiled, as if she was a little ill-intentioned. Facing the invitation of the girl from Yama, Chen Yang refused on the spot. Cough. Impossible, give Sylvie a try first. Master, come directly. Wei Meishi's eyes revealed a request. a coquettish look on his face. Facing her like this, Chen Yang really can't stand it. This girl's appearance is too good, and she is even more lore when she acts like a spoiled child. Only, Chen Yang still didn't agree. Then, Gui Meishi had no choice but to look helplessly at the elf princess. A little bit, Chen Yang big brother is really timid. Seeing this, Sylvie said something arrogantly. It seems that we can finally find a place to hit Chen Yang. But, Chen Yang refused to carry out the Yama transformation first, not because he was worried about an accident. In fact, this Yama transformation has two effects. One is to enhance the original effect of talent, and the second is to fill a negative effect. However, if you are not satisfied with the result of the transformation, you can cancel it directly. In other words, this thing is reversible. Chen Yang doesn't need to worry at all. The failure of the transformation is at most a waste of a few collected boss souls. So, the reason Chen Yang refuses to try first is because he had already studied it in the process of just playing the dungeon. Since his talent is a god-level talent, every time he is changed, 10 boss souls will be consumed. FFLX. He decided to let the talents of other girls be transformed first, and finally he would slowly do it himself. It's a pity that this kind of self-sacrificing spirit was considered by Sylvie to be cowardly. Then this elf goes back a little bit, and Qingyu comes first. Chen Yang didn't even look at Sylvie, and directly greeted out Qingyu to come up first. Quote question mark. Quote. Sylvie became tearful in an instant. Chen Yang big brother, I was wrong. Woohoo. She finally realized deeply. Going against Chen Yang has no good results. Gee, from Chen Yang's point of view, this 490 head can't be changed. Whenever something happens, he likes yin and yang weirdness. Who did you learn this from? Then, this time Chen Yang did not compromise because she admitted her mistake. Let Ao Qingyu come up and test the water first. The dragon girl Ao Qingyu was a little helpless when she saw this, but to her, it didn't matter who came first. Immediately after, as Gui Meishi stretched out his hand to draw a talisman in the void, everyone in the field felt as if there was some kind of mysterious power that was drawn from the surrounding void. Ao Qingyu felt the brunt of it. She has been surrounded by some mysterious power, and these powers seem to contain her soul and make her soul stronger. Soon, a bright white flashed across Ao Qingyu's eyes. There seemed to be a slight change in her temperament, as if she had understood life and death. Chen Yang watched. I was even more surprised. This Yama girl is really a bit of a special method. No wonder the initial skills can temporarily resurrect the dead. I am afraid that it is not an existence that connects the two worlds of yin and yang. Certainly, what Chen Yang is most concerned about now is how Ao Qingyu's talent has been changed. He came to Ao Qingyu, smelled the faint fragrance emanating from her body, and checked her attribute panel. Talent, bloodline of Shenlong, SSS level, Yama changed life. The speed of your meditation practice is increased by 2.7 times. After transforming into a dragon, all attributes are increased by 10 right pointing arrow to 4 times. Negative effect marked in red. The cooling time of Huolong is increased by 42%. The training speed is increased. After the dragon is transformed, all attributes are improved. But the corresponding negative effect is that the cooling time of dragon transformation has increased from the original 24 hours to more than 34 hours. The effect of this transformation. It can be said to be quite terrifying. The point is that this negative effect doesn't have a big impact. After all, Chen Yang has an aura of infinite firepower, so the cooling down of her dragon transformation is not long. Doctor, at least recently, there are not many moments when she needs to transform into a dragon. So, let the cooldown be longer. Ao Qingyu was a little unexpected for such a change in her talent. This effect, is it too strong? The training speed has been accelerated by 2.7 times. It's equivalent to me practicing for 1 day now, which is equivalent to more than 3 days of cultivation before. Looking at the Yama girl in front of her again, a little admiration appeared in Ao Qingyu's cold eyes. At the same time, she was even more shocked and identified with Chen Yang's ability in her heart. Now that Chen Yang is only level 50, he can summon such a powerful girl. After the level is higher and higher. How strong can it be? Simply unimaginable. Go to practice first and try the effect. Ao Qingyu couldn't wait. Well, let's go. Chen Yong nodded, admiring her long snow-white legs, and watched her go upstairs. Then, he glanced at the pitiful Sylvie who was put aside, and beckoned to her, "Come here." The elf princess ran over cautiously. Chen Yong looked at her cute appearance and touched her little head, aggrieved. Sylvie nodded again and again with a pitiful look. "Come on, give her a try." Chen Yong is also a little helpless. "This elf princess, I'm afraid I can't teach well." But, as a pastor and auxiliary profession, her role in Chen Yang's team cannot be ignored. Sylvie's buff skills can make Chen Yang's god-level aura play a more terrifying effect. So, to transform the talents of the girls, Sylvie must have a high priority. At this time, Sylvie closed her eyes, as if she was about to receive some sacred ceremony. When Gui Meishi came to her and looked at her with interest, she played with her fingers nervously. The Yama girl stretched out her hand. The white and slender fingers drew a mysterious spell in the air, evoking the mysterious power in the dark, and tightly wrapped around Sylvie's delicate and graceful body. Her pointy elf ears trembled slightly, visibly nervous. Soon, when she opened her eyes, the temperament of the whole person has actually undergone a slight change, becoming more ethereal, giving people the feeling of a fairy. She quickly checked her talent. Light Element Affinity SSS level. Yan Luo changed his life when releasing healing and auxiliary skills. The salvage is increased by 150% plus 300%. Negative effect marked in red. The damage you deal is reduced by 50%. This. Sylvie's eyes widened all of a sudden. Her SSS level talent effect was doubled. This is too great, isn't it? Her damage output is directly reduced by 50%. This negative is a bit deadly. Pity. Her talent transformation this time is very successful in Chen Yang's view. As a priest, what if the damage is reduced by half? Has little effect. The key is, her talent effect has doubled again, which is equivalent to double the effect of Chen Yang's god-level halo. This is the real change. At this time, Chen Yang glanced at it, and there were only 10 boss monster souls left on Gui Meishi's body. "Vivian, Issa, your talents will be remodeled later. There are 10 souls left, I will try first." Chen Yang thought about it and made a decision. The angel girl and the succubus girl nodded together. Vivian has always been obedient. As for Isabella, it is completely centered on Chen Yang, and she will not make trouble. Judging from the situation just now, Gui Meishi's Yama transformation sometimes produces negative effects that are quite annoying. But anyway, you have to give it a try. After all, its positive promotion is too awesome. Then, Master, shall I come? Gui Meishi's watery eyes swept across Chen Yang, and a slight smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. She stretched out her snow-white slender fingers and stroked Chen Yang's chest twice, making him a little itchy. With the surrounding, mysterious power between life and death being pulled, Chen Yang's soul seems to be wrapped. At this time, Chen Yang received a system prompt. Please select the halo you need to transform. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Question mark. Chen Yang was a little dumbfounded when he heard this prompt. What's the situation? Other people's talents are directly transformed, but when it comes to Chen Yang, not only does it require 10 boss souls to transform at a time, but each halo can only be transformed separately. Come on, hypergrowth. Chen Yang thought for a while, and quickly made a decision. Now his combat power is not very lacking, mainly because the upgrade speed is not fast enough. So, directly transform 10 times the experience aura first. Accompany Chen Yang to make a decision. He felt as if he had passed through an invisible film and came to a whole new world. Looking around, the whole world had become a little different. This is normal. Gui Meishi came over, leaned against his chest and said mysteriously, "This means that you are one step closer to death." This is a bit gloomy. But Chen Yang was not afraid at all. He stretched out his hand and suddenly embraced the girl in his arms, feeling a little. Do you have body temperature? It's about the same as me, it's 37 degrees, right? How do you make yourself look like a dead man? Chen Yang complained. Gui Meishi was stunned. She never expected that Chen Yang would be so bold and hug her directly. For a time, her pale face was slightly red. I am a ghost, of course I am alive. It's just that our ghosts are born with infinite lifespan and can communicate with the power of the underworld. It's good to be alive, or it always feels a little weird. Chen Yang smiled. She didn't let go of her and looked directly at the god-level tenfold experience halo that she had just transformed, super speed growth. Super growth. The basic effect of this god-level aura is very simple, that is, after it is turned on, the experience value obtained by killing monsters by oneself is increased to 10 times. And now, when Chen Yang revisited the introduction to this halo, his face became a little happy. Super speed growth god-level halo Yama change. After opening, the experience gained by you and your summons will increase to 10 times, right pointing arrow 3 to 5 times. Negative effect marked in red. After this halo is turned on, you will become the most beautiful boy in the crowd, stealth level -12. Its positive effect, the experience has increased from 10 times to a direct increase of 3 times. From now on, Chen Yang's speed of leveling up with all the female monsters will be more than 3 times faster than before. Originally, after cooperating with Vivian's bed-making skill, Chen Yang gained 20 times the experience of killing monsters. But now, it will skyrocket to 70 times the experience. Isn't this a secret realm level up? Chen Yang is a little cool. Originally, the experience required to start leveling up at level 50 increased again. Basically 3 to 4 secret realms can only be upgraded to level 1. Now it's faster than when 40 upgrades to 50. But Chen Yang still paid attention to it. After the halo was changed by Yan Luo, the negative effects appeared to be a bit of a mess. The most beautiful boy in the crowd. Stealth level -12. Chen Yang was a little speechless. One thing to say, this effect is actually very deadly when placed on other class transferees, not to mention losing a stealth level of 12, even if it is only a negative level, sometimes it is the difference between life and death. But here at Chen Yang, it hardly matters. If he wasn't invisible, with his good looks, if he followed a few girls behind him, he would have become the focus of the crowd. But if you turn on the aura of invisibility, you would have added 100 invisibility levels. Even if you deducted 12, you would still have 88. Level 100 stealth no one can see through. No one can see through this level 88 stealth. At least in this blue star, it is impossible for anyone to see through his invisibility. It seems that this Yama's life-changing ability is indeed powerful. However, this negativity is still a bit uncomfortable after all. If there are enough boss souls, I will definitely let her change it for me until it is negative and has no effect at all. Chen Yang thought to himself. However, it is not too easy to collect boss souls. You still have to kill epic, legendary and even mythical bosses, which will come the fastest. Killing one of these bosses can collect 3, 6 and 10 respectively. And also, if you go to the bottom of the sea to kill monsters, so many boss monsters will not be killed. This is the fastest way to collect souls. But I'm not high enough right now. Although many monster bosses can be killed, they are too slow to kill and the efficiency is not fast enough. Chen Yang has no idea of going to the bottom of the sea to collect boss souls. The most important thing for now is to keep upgrading. Certainly, with the girl Gaimeishi, Chen Yang can look forward to the future. This Yan Luo's ability to change his life can almost be said to be a talent that brings people to a new level. Certainly, because Chen Yang is a god-level talent. Each god-level aura has to be improved individually. So it's still a bit far off if you want to improve it as a whole. But Chen Yang can first improve the halo that he usually uses a lot. What 10 times the attack, 10 times the defense, 10 times the speed, etc. It worked well. Chen Yang put his arms around the shoulders of the girl Yama and praised with a smile. That's natural. Gui Meishi was also very carefree, and simply leaned into Chen Yang's arms. How is it, master, how are you going to reward me? You are over level 70,000, what reward can I give you? Chen Yang shook his head. I'm afraid you won't appreciate the reward I gave you. No, Gui Meishi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Actually, I'm very poor. When I was summoned, I had nothing. As she spoke, her expression became a little sad. Asked by Chen Yang, finally figured out something. Turn out to be, this girl was originally a genius of the Ghost Clan, but she also has an older sister who is also a genius, born with the ability to communicate with the underworld. Their ghosts, through the power of the underworld, can travel through the world on certain days. Absorb the energy of the underworld to cultivate and improve your own strength. Gui Meishi's level, according to the current calculation, is indeed more than 70,000 levels. But the point is, she doesn't have a good relationship with her sister. In a previous conflict, she was sealed by her sister with a stronger power. It's not that her elder sister's talent is higher than her, it's just that she has lived longer than her, so her cultivation base is deeper than her, making her no match for her elder sister. That is to say, although you are over 70,000 levels now, are you really not that powerful? After being summoned by me, can I gradually break my sister's seal by upgrading in this world? Chen Yang was a little speechless. This is so. Why did he summon so many girls? All of them were a bit miserable. What succubus girl was suppressed in the dark abyss? Dragon girls in the world of the apocalypse era. Now there is another ghost girl, who was sealed by her sister. But, when Chen Yang asked about the conflict between the girl and her sister, the girl refused to say. If she had to order her to say, she could only say it, but Chen Yang thought about it and let it go. With her strength of more than 70,000 levels being sealed, it can be seen that the other party is very good. Even if you know about this matter, it is useless. After getting familiar with her in the future, let her speak slowly. After all, it has just been summoned now. Emotions are not yet cultivated. Then, Chen Yang took the Yama girl to the basement and glanced at Feng Luan, who was growing up in nirvana. Why do you have everything? Gui Meishi was a little dumbfounded. There are also dragon girls, and phoenix girls. These are rare. I have traveled dozens of worlds, and I have never seen these two races. Who made me a girl's friend? Chen Yang thought about it and asked, when you saw me for the first time, would you feel a sense of intimacy? Well, in retrospect, it was a bit. Gui Meishi thought about it for a while, and answered a little helplessly. That's weird. Chen Yang was a little puzzled. Then why is Sylvie so disrespectful to me? Is this not a deal? Gui Meishi pursed her lips and chuckled. Actually, it's all good. I've been to 2 worlds and seen elves. In fact, elves are basically malicious to humans. Hate value is very high. But Sylvie, she's just playing petty temper with you. It's already very rare among elves. And such a thing. Only then did Chen Yang understand why the elf princess's attitude towards him was always not good. Turn out to be. It's a question of race. For elves, humans can be said to be a heinous race, which made Chen Yang a little curious. If he and Sylvie went to the world she was in, wouldn't he be hostile to countless elves? Speaking of which, what kind of shuttle method do you want to travel through the world? Chen Yang asked Gui Meishi again. Point 0. If nothing else, this girl knows quite a lot, so there is absolutely no problem in asking her about it. I don't know anyone else. Gui Meishi thought for a while and said, but if I am here, as long as I can restore my strength to around level 100, I can use the power of the underworld to travel through the world. Level 100. Chen Yang thought to himself that according to his current experience value multiple, it would not be too slow to reach level 100. At that time, I must go to the world of girls to play. However, when I really want to reach level 100, I am invincible in this blue star. Chen Yang smiled lightly. Isn't it enough now? Gui Meishi was a little curious. I just asked Issa, you have a lot of halo. The level is not high enough, and it is not strong enough. Chen Yang shook his head and said, in this world, there are already many strong people who have learned the forbidden spell. Throw a forbidden spell at me from a distance, and I will definitely not be able to stop it. Although I can be invincible with the holy hourglass aura, I can't be invincible all my life, right? Then I can never grow stronger. Chen Yang has been in this world for 18 years, and he still knows a lot about some of the powerhouses in this world. Forbidden spell. This is the most threatening existence to him. When he can resist the forbidden spell, then he is completely invincible. And in his calculations, according to his current development speed, he may not even need to reach level 100, he can have strong enough physical attributes, and with a god-level aura, he can be completely invincible. But now, not enough. Even if the god-level defense halo is activated, the defenses of him and the girls have not yet reached the level of being able to resist the forbidden spell. It was also when Chen Yang was chatting with Gui Meishi, the granddaughter of Yu Juyang, the old swordsman of the Sha Kingdom, Yu Hong. Not far away, he flew to Zhongnan City from Kyoto City. She found Su Sheng's and asked Su Sheng's to take her to the top floor office of Tianqi building. She doesn't know how to find that genius. However, now, Sha Guo has something to do and needs to stand up and help. Certainly, the current Chen Yang, of course, is completely unaware of Sha Guo's situation. And the other party couldn't find him at all. Then, Yu Hongyuan could only go to the only place that had contact with the single-player genius, which was the top floor of Su Shengji's Tianqi building. After all, Su Sheng's dutifully posted a map of the secret distribution of Zhongnan City on the page floor every day. It is said that the genius will come to check. So, coming here is the easiest and most direct way for Yu Hongyuan to contact that person. As for Chen Yang, in the villa, he leisurely accompanied the girls to watch TV. Now that it's night, there are no secret realms outside. Let Vivian make the bed first, take a rest, and wait for the secret realm to refresh in the early morning before going out. After taking a shower, Sylvie wore a thin nightgown, holding a mobile phone in her hand, and ran down the stairs. Chen Yang big brother, Chen Yang big brother. Look, I brushed a piece of news, it seems to be very good. Holding her phone in her small hand, she came to Chen Yang. Chen Yang glanced at the phone screen. All, 000, National Summoner Martial Arts Competition. This thing, once every 4 years, is indeed going to be held soon. Chen Yang was a little surprised. This thing is considered to be a relatively rare martial arts event in the territory of the Sha Kingdom. If it is a confrontation between the transferees, people will die if they are not careful. At first, someone held the Sha Kingdom's number 1 martial arts club, or something, but each session had a lot of casualties, so it only lasted for 2 sessions and was called off. But soon someone developed the Summoner Martial Arts Competition. After all, summons die in battle, but they won't really die. Moreover, the battles between summoners are also very exciting and enjoyable to watch. In recent years, this Summoner Martial Arts Competition has become a popular topic among the people, and even many places have privately set up gambling games. Original. Chen Yang was naturally not interested in this Summoner Martial Arts Competition. But soon, he glanced at the rewards of this competition. Myth level, no level passive skill book, summoning righteousness. Can the summoner summon 2 extra summons? This championship reward suddenly caught Chen Yang's eyes, making his eyes shine. This thing, not bad. A mythical thing, or a skill book with no level requirements, even for Chen Yang, it is an extremely precious existence. To know, starting from the epic level, every piece of equipment and every skill book is unique in this world. This skill book, Summoning Profound Truth, allows the summoner to summon 2 more summons. How many summoners must be crazy about it? Chen Yang suddenly became interested. However, the difficulty of this game is not low. Because the competition conditions are relatively loose, as long as the summoner class transfer is under the age of 70, anyone can sign up to participate. It doesn't sound good. Unless they are talented, summoners under the age of 30 basically don't need to consider participating. Not to mention national champions. Basically send it out. But for Chen Yang, isn't that just right for him? Just for this reward, then you have to rush. Certainly. This competition process is a bit long. After registration, you must first compete for the city qualifying places, then the provincial competition, and finally the national final. It took about a month before and after. Chen Yang did the math. In this month, he can at least reach level 80. Taking into account his ability to summon girls, it was relatively easy to win the championship. Mainly, this game allows summoners to assist and enhance their summoned creatures. Chen Yang's various auras are turned on, isn't it hanging everything? Since that's the case, I'll ask Su Sheng's to help you sign up first. Let's get a spot in Wangnan City. Chen Yang thought about it and made a plan. Soon. After Vivian made the beds for everyone, Chen Yang and the girls took a rest and gained double experience bonus for 24 hours. Then, more than 5 in the morning, Chen Yang took the girls and went out to level up around various cities. Now that he has 70 times the total experience bonus, his upgrade speed has been further improved. In less than 3 hours, almost all the 50 to 55 level secret realms in the surrounding cities are covered by him. By Chen. Certainly, Chen Yang is playing that kind, and the quality is relatively high. Below the diamond level, he has already despised it. Anyway, it's an instant kill to enter, why go to a low-level secret realm? And in these mysteries, Chen Yang even played a king level 8-player team secret realm, allowing him to harvest a king level equipment. Finally, all the girls have been updated with a new set of equipment. The combat power of various attributes has been further improved. Chen Yang and the girls have all been promoted to level 56, and they have been promoted to level 6 in the early morning when others are having breakfast. If this is reported, countless people will worship it. This speed is too outrageous. And what caught Chen Yang's attention? After defeating these secret realms, Wei Meishi directly collected 45 boss souls, making her soul count reach 45 57ths. Used souls will be included in the soul total. Work. Unlocked a new skill again. Skill 4. Ghostly Air. Release the ghostly aura, covering the area, causing darkness damage to all enemies in the area every second, and making the target lose all vision. Lasted 30 seconds, but 60 seconds. This is an area damage skill, but the damage is average, and the most important thing is the loss of vision. Equivalent to, within the range of ghostly aura, all enemies will become blind. Certainly, if it is a strong person, the hearing and the like will be very sensitive, but after all, it will have some impact on the battle. Besides, the angel maid Vivian, who has been promoted all the way, has also unlocked a new skill. Skill 8. Warming the bed. After Vivian helps warm the bed, the talent effect of both parties increases by 10%, effective for up to 2 people, which lasts for 7 days. This skill opened Chen Yang's horizons. Warm bed. Is this bed warmer the bed warmer I was thinking of? Chen Yang was a little confused at first. Although its effect is only a 10% increase in talent effect, but it lasts for a long time. For Chen Yang, this is a huge improvement. In terms of experience aura, the original 35 times experience bonus, after getting the bed warming buff, this experience bonus will be increased to 38.5 times. The final total experience has been increased from 70 times to 77 times. This increase can be said to be very good. After all, this, bed warming, is just a small skill attribute of Vivian. So here comes the problem. How to trigger this ability? The secret places in several surrounding cities have been wiped out, and Chen Yang returned home with his daughters first. Researched it, then found out. This trigger condition is literally meaning, it is to let the angel sister warm the bed, but to trigger the 10% increase in talent, both parties need to stay together for 10 minutes. This is a bit fatal. In this environment, don't say 10 minutes. I can't bear it for 5 minutes. Then, after more than half an hour, Chen Yang and Vivian finally came out with the buff state of 10% increase in talent effect. Didn't it say 10 minutes? It's been half an hour. The elves are starving to death. Downstairs, the elf princess Sylvie was lying on the sofa, with her calves raised and her stomach growling. Every day, you know how to eat. Chen Yang couldn't laugh or cry, almost forgot that everyone hadn't eaten breakfast yet, but Vivian is a little tired, let's go out to eat something this morning. What? Sylvie was a little puzzled. Will warming the bed also make you tired? Ah, it's okay, master, it's okay. Vivian's pretty face was a little red. Cooking is just a skill, as long as you have the source of master's magic power, you won't be tired. Okay, you make some breakfast. Chen Yang nodded. Look, what is a maid and what is dedication? After eating. It was already past 9 o'clock in the morning. He brought Isabella with him, and the two of them flew out of the building of Tianqi building in a hidden state, intending to see the distribution map of the secret places around Zhongnan City. To be honest, if it wasn't for his unfamiliarity with the secret areas in the surrounding cities, Chen Yang's leveling speed could be faster. Therefore, the distribution map of the secret realm is not small. But, just when Chen Yang came outside the building, I saw a figure that shouldn't appear in this building. Yu Hongyuan, what is she doing here? Chen Yang was a little puzzled. Take a closer look. This long-legged girl with a single ponytail is holding a sign in her hand, with something written on it, holding the sign outward. The dignified granddaughter of the sword master. At this time, it turned out to be like a welcoming girl. And it's weird, she stood on the top floor of the building, holding a sign out of the window. This is so. It's too weird, right? Let Chen Yang know immediately that this girl is looking for him. Originally, Chen Yang just came to look at the distribution map of the secret realm. But seeing Yu Hongyuan appear holding a sign, he reluctantly glanced at what was written on the sign. I thought I was asking myself to play a dungeon again. Did some epic monster appear somewhere? ... After reading the content on the sign, Chen Yang's expression was a little delicate. Did not expect. On the border of Brahma Kingdom, something happened again. Speaking of it, this matter is very simple. That is to say, the overall environment in Brahma Kingdom is very chaotic now, and the public security and the like are far worse than those in the real country. Now globally, only the Shah Kingdom's overall order can be maintained so well. As long as you don't go out of the city, don't go to those 2 remote areas, and don't go to the sea, basically there will be no great danger. In other countries, the situation is completely different. For example, Brahma, the country is the most typical chaos. How confusing is it? Even in the city, there are already many monsters living. Some epic level monster bosses, relying on advanced job changers who can't harm them, burn, kill and loot in the city, which is very difficult to deal with. Due to not paying much attention to the prevention and treatment of this aspect at the beginning, there are a bunch of epic and legendary monsters in the current Brahma Kingdom. Of course, mythical monsters can be found everywhere, even in the territory of Shah Kingdom, but mythical monsters are more forceful, and basically they will not take the initiative to harm humans, and humans generally will not provoke such top creatures. Now Brahma, the living environment of ordinary people is very poor, and they will be picked up by an epic mouse flying out of the street at every turn. If it weren't for the country of Brahma, where every child is born in the same litter, this country would have already been sent. These situations were known to Chen Yang before. But now, the content on the sign held by U12 Hongyuan is that the Brahma Kingdom has recently carried out another operation to uniformly lure a group of relatively low-level epic level or even legendary level monsters, or attract them, or rushed across the border and entered the territory of Shah Kingdom. To know, because these epic level and legendary level monsters are relatively low level, 70 or 80 or even 50 or 60, so even some strong people in Shah Kingdom can't deal with them. Otherwise, there is no need for Fan Kingdom to drive these monsters into the territory of Shah Kingdom. It's because there are no geniuses of the right level in Brahma Kingdom who can deal with these low-level epic and legendary monsters. Certainly, there are still quite a few top powerhouses in the Brahma Kingdom, and as a result, the border treaty still has to be abided by between the Shah Kingdom and the Brahma Kingdom. Neither party entered the country illegally. It's just that Shah Guo really has no choice but to drive these monsters over. On the one hand, these monsters must be prevented from disturbing the people. On the other hand, find a way to kill these monsters. So now, it's not just me. There are already many SS and even SSS level newly promoted geniuses who have rushed to the border of Brahma. Chen Yang pondered for a while. As long as there are enough geniuses on this day, it is actually not difficult to kill those monsters with the help of top priests and other strong people. To know, the real world is different from the situation in the dungeon. In the dungeon, one is the limit on the number of people, and the other is that you cannot get assistance from higher level powerhouses. But outside, even a team of whalers with a mix of A-level and S-level talents can hunt and kill an epic level frost blue whale. This is the difference. Under normal circumstances, the instance where the frost blue whale is located can only enter a maximum of 4 people. 4 people, once confronted with the frost blue whale, died instantly. But with more than 40 people in their team, the concept is different. A variety of different buffs are superimposed together, allowing them to suppress epic monsters. Certainly, now that Yu Hongyuan has come to ask Chen Yang for help, it also means that the situation on the border has become more urgent. There may be too many monsters. It may also be that there are not enough geniuses. Anyway, now is the time when Shah Guo needs Chen Yang's help. To this, Chen Yang didn't mind helping out. Although he was killing monsters outside, he could definitely absorb the souls of those epic and legendary boss monsters. This wave of monsters, it makes the dignified Shah country feel tricky, which shows that there are so many of them. If all of them are in the bag, wouldn't it be at least hundreds of boss souls? What's more, for Chen Yang, this matter is not troublesome. Certainly, since we are going, it is impossible not to collect some wool. What Chen Yang wants to do most now is to level up quickly. In this case, let the other party provide some high-quality secret realm scrolls. As long as there are enough secret scrolls. When Chen Yang is leveling, he doesn't need to run around, and he doesn't need to go out to grab secret realms in the early morning. And at this very moment, in Yu Hongyuan's office, Su Sheng stood aside respectfully. He was obviously the president of Tianqi Building, but now he was acting like a waiter. No way, Yu Hongyuan's status is really too high. Although it is said that Yu Hongyuan's level is not as high as Su Shengji's now, but his combat power absolutely crushes Su Sheng's. This is the gold content of the granddaughter of the Shaoguo Sword Saint family. But Su Sheng's doesn't feel aggrieved now. Because, in his eyes, Yu Hongyuan held up the sign and faced the window, which was obviously more impressive. People who don't know it still think it's a welcome girl. They have always maintained this posture from 7 o'clock until now more than 9 o'clock. However, there was still no movement outside. This made Su Sheng's and Yu Hongyuan a little puzzled. Why didn't they come that day? Or, already here, and saw what was on the sign she was holding, but not going to help. This kind of unilateral pursuit of communication is really tormenting. They don't even know if the other party will respond. At this time, Yu Hongyuan's slender thighs are a bit sore from standing. Although she is said to have a very high physique, being in one movement for a long time still makes her muscles a little stiff. Let her loosen the sign in her hand a little. One hand clenched into a fist and hit his thigh twice. Sudden, a cold female voice came from the surroundings, which startled Yu Hongdao. I can do this. Isabella pretended to be her sister's royal voice, and it came out from all directions. Upon hearing this voice, Yu Hongyuan hurriedly straightened her thighs and raised the sign again. That's great, finally waiting for you. Yu Hongyuan breathed a sigh of relief. The other party finally appeared. She didn't wait in vain. However, I have one condition. Chen Yang asked Isabella to continue. I need 10 secret scrolls of level 55 to 70, preferably above the diamond level. Today I will go to the border of the Vatican and settle the matter. But tomorrow, I need to receive these secret scrolls. This condition is absolutely nothing to Shaoguo officials. True, the secret realm scrolls of this level are still relatively valuable, but it is definitely not too difficult for Shaoguo to obtain these. Once in hand, Chen Yang can easily break through level 60 and even move towards level 70. 10 secret scrolls. When Yu Hongyuan heard the words, she thought for a while and nodded. If nothing else, this little thing can be brought out by her family alone. Therefore, she can directly agree to Chen Yang's request without asking her superiors. No problem, tomorrow morning, I will have the scroll delivered to Minri. Yu Hongyuan nodded solemnly. Deal, tell me the location and I'll go right over. Isabella's elder sister's voice came out again. Yu Hongyuan took out her mobile phone and marked the coordinates and map. Chen Yang read it. I didn't go immediately, but returned to Xian Villa. I brought the rest of the girls and set off together. This afternoon, Xiao Fengluan's first nirvana is coming to an end. Have to be back before then. Chen Yang's speed is fast. Because, after finishing level training in the morning, he had already made the Yama girl ghostly, consumed a full 40 boss souls, and transformed him into a god-level halo. The power of the wind god-level halo Yama change after opening, you and your summons will increase the speed by 1000%, right pointing arrow 3460%. Negative effect marked in red. After this halo is activated, you and your summons will reduce the defense by 425 points. 10 times the original speed. The speed is directly increased to 34.6 times, and Chen Yang now also has the warm bed buff from the angel maid Vivian, which increases the speed of this halo by 527%, increasing it to 38.06. The only flaw is that the current negative state of this aura is to reduce defense. Fortunately, Chen Yang and the girls, under the effect of the original skill Fortitude and the god-level aura Holy Shield, have already reached hundreds of thousands of defenses. Less 425 points, it doesn't matter. Certainly. When more boss souls have been collected in the later stage, Chen Yang still has to put the halo back under Yan Luo's change of life to wash away the negative effects. Otherwise, it will be the negative side that weakens the combat effectiveness after all. As for now, there are not enough boss points, so let's use them for now. Right now, this effect is the result of Yama's transformation 4 times. There is no way, the negative effects of the previous 3 times are really rubbish. That's when Chen Yang went to the border between the Brahma Kingdom and the Xia Kingdom. Southwest of the Xia Kingdom. It is more than 8,000 kilometers away from Zhongnan City. Although the area of Blue Star continues to expand, the original boundary between countries is still there. South Hammer. This is the city in the Xia Kingdom, the closest city to the border of the Brahma Kingdom, and it is also a city that is currently facing a crisis. Thousands of epic level and legendary level monsters were attracted from the territory of the Brahma Kingdom, driven across the border, and entered the territory of the Xia Kingdom. Once these monsters are dispersed, South Hammer City is at stake. And this time, naturally, Xia Guo had already noticed the other party's actions and made a coping strategy. To the southwest of Nanshui City, more than 300 kilometers away, a terrifying ice wall with a length of thousands of kilometers and a height of thousands of meters stood up overnight, blocking all those monsters. Town-level powerhouse. The Master of Ice, who is known as the Ice God, all over the world, came overnight and sat here. Release the forbidden spell, the Great Wall of Ice, to block the spread of those monsters. Even if he is the only one in the world who can do such a big job, it's just that his Great Wall of Ice has a duration, just to stop the monsters. All those monsters must be cleared away as quickly as possible. This is why Xia Guo hopes that Chen Yang will come forward. South Hammer City. Above the Great Wall of Ice. Many Xia Kingdom powerhouses, including the town-level powerhouse, Ice God, Li Yishan, all look down worriedly. Right under the Great Ice Wall, thousands of epic level and legendary level monsters gathered together to attack this supergiant ice wall that made them uncomfortable, but they were completely unable to break through. After all, this is the Great Wall of Frost that has been condensed from the forbidden spell. These low-level monsters are simply impossible to break through. This forbidden spell also has a duration, it lasts for 2 days at most, and it will melt away naturally, but the cooldown time of the forbidden spell is as long as 7 days. That is to say, if not within 2 days, kill all the monsters below. The territory of the Xia Kingdom will be threatened by these monsters. The nearest city of South Hammer has begun to evacuate its citizens. At the same time, there are also many teenagers and local geniuses who volunteered to help kill monsters. Pity. These epic monsters are too numerous. I don't know what the Brahmin country did to make so many epic and legendary monsters come out. The management over there has been very lax. When you go out of the secret realm, you don't organize people to fight. It's normal that there are more and more monsters like this. However, the people of the Brahma country are too abhorrent. They can't handle these monsters by themselves, so they brought them to our country. I vomited. If those guys weren't too cowardly to cross the border, I really wanted to go and kill them all. Don't be impulsive. After all, there are also strong people on the opposite side. Once we cross the border, we will provoke war. The strong men were talking a lot, and they all hated the country very much. But there is no way. There are also many top-level powerhouses in the Vatican Kingdom. If they really fight, it will definitely not benefit the people of the Xia Kingdom. They all feel suffocated. Some people have also thought that since the other party drove the monsters over, can they drive the monsters over again? The conclusion is naturally, can't do it, because the Brahma Kingdom's powerhouse this time on the frontier is the Grand Master of the Brahma Kingdom's court, and is extremely good at mental control methods. He even mastered the mind-controlled insomnia. Ordinary skills can't help those epic and legendary monsters. However, the control effect of the forbidden spell ignores the level of immunity. Then, that guy gave all these monsters a mind control order, so that they gathered together and kept rushing forward. After a few days, the current situation was formed. Such behavior, naturally, it was condemned by Xia Guo, and it was an act of undermining national security. But the key point is that there is no evidence from the Xia Kingdom to prove that these monsters were driven by the court master of the Brahma Kingdom. Although most likely, but without proof, Rish is just guessing. If the Xia Kingdom takes the initiative to provoke a war, it will lead to the targeting of many other countries, which will be very unfavorable to the Xia Kingdom, so that the Xia Kingdom can only be passively defended for the time being. No matter how to negotiate and ask for compensation in the future. At this stage, they have to deal with these monsters first. Original. This move of the Vatican Kingdom can be said to have completely grasped the Sha Kingdom, killing two birds with one stone. Not only did it clean up the monsters in the territory, but it also caused a lot of trouble for the Sha Kingdom. But they never expected. Sha Guo, Chen Yang came out. Since Chen Yang is here, it is impossible to just kill those monsters. There is no evidence to prove that your area drove monsters over. Then I open up Shenyang and go to your country to do things. You are different and have no evidence. While rushing to the border of the Vatican, Chen Yang has already thought about his purpose this time. Monsters must be cleaned up. Besides, on the side of the Brahma Kingdom, we must let Hua experience the pain. If it was Chen Yang half a month ago, he would not have this ability. But now, as long as he is prepared in advance, the custody will make the Brahma Kingdom only stare. At this time, borders of the Vatican, there were hundreds of military transferees from the Brahma Kingdom, all of them in the 80s or 90s. Hey, the ice god in Sha is still amazing. Hey, what's so amazing? No matter how high the level is, you can't kill those monsters. When the ice wall disappears, Sha Guo will suffer. This wave of the Archmage's strategy is really too second, but the Archmage is too strong, or else he can't drive these monsters. Unfortunately, with this control method, Sha Guo has no evidence to prove that we did it, ha ha ha. Seeing Sha Guo feel aggrieved, it's really cool. These people sat leisurely on the hill, drinking and eating meat while looking at the direction of the Sha Kingdom. One by one chatting and laughing. And the corresponding. In the Sha Kingdom, beneath the Great Wall of Ice. Some came from all over the country, as well as some local geniuses in South Hammer City, and they formed a team one after another. Because of the era of national transfer, the maximum team size is 50 people. Therefore, there are basically 45 juniors, plus 5 strong auxiliary occupations. The strong provide the juniors with status boosts, and protect the juniors. With the junior team, they clean up those epic and legendary monsters little by little under the ice wall. If these monsters come in batches, the solution is actually quite simple. But the point is, these monsters are all crowded into a ball. There are many epic level entries for monsters, all of which have various auras. After they are crowded into a pile, it is extremely difficult to deal with. At this time, many of the younger generation transferees in South Hammer City, even those with A-level talents, participated in the defensive battle. As long as the level is between 50 to 70, it can effectively deal damage to monsters. If the level is low, the combat power is too weak, the damage is insufficient, and it may be killed by monsters, so I did not let it participate in the battle. And the higher the level, as long as it is 3 or more levels higher than epic monsters, it cannot deal damage to monsters. This is the fundamental reason why the world has become so chaotic today. Otherwise, as long as there are strong people in each country, they can sit back and relax. But now in this case, if the younger generation stretches their hips more or pays little attention to the maintenance of order, it is easy for the domestic environment to collapse completely. In an inconspicuous corner under an ice wall, the sharpshooter with SSS level talent, Yu Fei, and the previous SS level young geniuses also rushed over to participate in this defensive battle. But this time, because it is an external battle, the requirements are not so high. Led by Yu Fei, they have formed a full team of 50 people, including 6 powerful auxiliary occupations above level 100, who are assisting them and protecting them. Various attack power, attack speed, and cooling gain effects fell on Yu Fei and the others. It doubled their combat effectiveness by more than 2 or 3 times. In this situation, they encountered epic monsters, and they could basically cause effective damage. More than 40 people launched attacks together, and the speed of instant killing small monsters was very fast. However, once they encounter a group of monsters, or there are legendary monsters, their team can only take a detour. This makes their cleanup efficient, quite a courtesy. Even SSS level Yu Fei felt uncomfortable, not to mention other people. Many times, when attacking skills fell on monsters, they only dealt a few dozen points of damage. Some monsters even had a percentage of blood recovery aura. No one has more blood to return. I don't know that genius, will he come this time? If she came, wouldn't this be crushed in minutes? Yu Fei gathered together and said with a sigh. In their opinion, as long as the super genius who can single-play epic-level secret realms comes, these monsters will definitely be cleaned up soon. But the other geniuses on their team were a little puzzled. Brother Yu Fei, you are already a super genius of the SSS level, and in my eyes, you are already the strongest existence. That's right, you can beat 30% of our team's output by yourself. How is it possible that there are talents stronger than you? Is there any talent stronger than SSS in this world? In this situation, there are too many monsters, Lise. I'm afraid it's useless for anyone to come. Brother Yu Fei, you don't have to blame yourself, you've done a good enough job. Quote. These people, some of them are S-rank geniuses from nearby cities, and some are A-rank transferees from South Hammer City. There are young people and middle-aged people. But without exception, after just a few hours of cooperation, Quan Yufei's strength was extremely shocking. As expected of an SSS-level talent. In a team of 50 people, one person can play 30% of the output. What is the concept? Results now. Yu Fei was still sighing, saying that there is a genius who is stronger than him. How can other people believe it? There must be a genius stronger than Yu Fei. So what kind of spicy chicken are they? Right now. From Chen Yang's departure to the present, in just 15 minutes, he has crossed a distance of more than 8,000 kilometers and came to the top of the Great Wall of Ice. Now his power of the wind aura provides nearly 4,000 times the speed. His speed has reached nearly 30 times the speed of sound, and 4 words are not enough to describe it. And when he arrived at the Great Wall of Ice, there is no communication with other people. I glanced at the dense monsters under the Great Wall. Chen Yang was overjoyed. Now, Yama girl can enjoy the boss soul. So many monsters. The Yama girl who followed Chen Yang all the way here, was ghostly, and her eyes flashed with an unexpected look. Who would have thought that so many monsters would gather in this world? Original. She observed Zhongnan City, where Chen Yang was located, and felt that the surrounding area was quite safe, everything was quiet and peaceful, and she thought that the monsters in this world were well controlled. As a result, it was just an isolated phenomenon. According to Chen Yang, at present, in all blue stars, only the order in the territory of the Sha Kingdom is maintained relatively well. Other countries, more or less, are more confused. Due to the protection of epic monsters and mysterious power, high-level transferees cannot cause effective damage to them, leading to global chaos. But this is nothing to Chen Yang at all. He sees, under the Great Wall of Ice, the lowest level monster is actually level 48. And his level has risen to level 56 early in the morning. This makes him unable to cause damage to these low-level monsters under normal circumstances. But Chen Yang directly opened the God-level aura, equality of all beings. After this halo is activated, for him, all the monsters around are considered to be the same level as him, that is, level 56. Certainly, the attributes of these monsters have not changed. It's just that Chen Yang can attack these monsters smoothly. But, even so, it is enough. Invincible, divine shield, wind power, infinite firepower, deadly eye, spell expansion. 6 buff auras on. At the same time, frost corrosion, silent field. Power of corrosion. 3 weakened auras are activated. 90% slowdown, 90% armor break, global silence. Counting all beings are equal as 10 auras. In addition to this, 927 has 2 fixed halos, Shenyan and flying. Now that Chen Yang has reached level 56, he can activate 12 god-level auras at the same time, which is just full. Isa, Shaoxi, this time the two of you will do it. Chen Yang stood against the wind above the Great Wall of Ice. No one knew that he had come here. And the 2 women, Isabella and Gui Meishi, start the killing directly. Ghostly. The girl from Yama is ghostly. Her little feet are walking in the void. With a smile on the corner of her mouth, she raises her little hand, and a ghostly mist spreads under the Great Wall of frozen ice. Originally, the range of her skill was 200 meters. But under the influence of the aura of spell expansion, it directly enveloped a vast area of 2,000 meters. A time. The dark ghost fog spreads, covering all the monsters and job transferers in it. Countless exclamations came from below the ice wall. Certainly, Chen Yang is only setting all monsters as hostile, so this ghostly black fog will not cause damage to other job transferees, but it will still have the effect of blocking their vision. Immediately after, Isabella, holding a king-level dark staff, spread a pair of demon wings, and flew her down the ice wall. Origin skills. Black hole vortex. At this moment, the black hole vortex and the ghostly aura perfectly overlapped together, and the terrifying damage erupted in an instant. Compared to the last time I single-played an epic rift. Now Chen Yang, already several times stronger. The boost from Vivian and the gain from Sylvie made Isabella's damage more than 7 or 8 times higher than at that time. The BC monsters below have their own epic entries, even though there are a lot of them stacked on top of each other. For Chen Yang, break it all down, completely crushing the damage level of the current level, crushing thousands of epic level and even legendary monsters within the range. Among them, the boss level monsters, after being killed, turned into an invisible and pure soul energy, which was absorbed by the ghostly air cushioned in the air. She is holding a black sickle. After seeing a wave of skills being released, the few boss level monsters below who had not died, swiped directly into the void. Death Harvest. The skill introduction said that this is the damage of the dark attribute. In fact, the damage type of the Yama girl is more terrifying than the dark damage, and it is similar to the damage of Death Harvest. Even if the target's dark resistance is full, nor can it completely resist the skills she unleashes. Her, Death Harvest, skill is 100% absolute beheading. No matter what kind of existence the other party is. As long as the opponent's HP is less than 30%, he will be killed on the spot. The dark sword light, the sun flashed by. Harvest the remaining bosses who survived. Just this wave, 215 boss souls have arrived. Chen Yang checked it and was quite satisfied with the harvest. As expected of an epic monster, killing one is worth 3, and there are even legendary monsters, killing one is worth 6. Isn't this much easier than the laborious brush copy? The number of boss souls collected by your summoned item, Yan Luo Gaimeshi, has reached 200. She unlocks a brand new skill. Skill 5, Wraith Blast. Passive skill, the soul of the target you assisted or killed will explode, causing huge death harvest damage to the enemies in the surrounding area. Gui Meishi directly unlocked a new skill, and the emergence of this new skill. Let Chen Yang take a deep breath. Is this too fierce? As long as you kill or assist, the opponent's soul will explode, causing area damage to the surrounding area. That is to say, as long as you kill one, you will be killed by a piece of waste around. The original disadvantage of this passive skill is that the range is a bit small, only 20 meters. But now there is Chen Yang's spell expansion aura, and the damage range of his Wraith explosion reaches 200 meters around. The most important is, with the current density of monsters under the Great Wall of Ice, it only takes one blast to explode in an infinite series. Good. It seems that these monsters can be dealt with more quickly. The corners of Chen Yang's mouth turned slightly. He took the girls from the sky and flew along the magnificent Great Wall of Ice. Can see the ghost aura and black hole vortex that erupted in that area just now have attracted the attention of many people around. Many powerhouses standing on the Great Wall looked at the area in surprise. When they saw that thousands of monsters in that area were killed in an instant, their scalps all felt numb. I haven't waited for them to react and discuss. A more terrifying scene appeared. I saw that next door to the area just now, there was another black mist filling the air, accompanied by the eruption of another black hole vortex. All the monsters in the area were crushed and smashed, and then every dead monster exploded with a silent explosion. Although it was silent, people could see that the dead monsters trembled, and then implicated other monsters in the surrounding area. Time and again, the ghosts that can't be seen by the naked eye explode, moving towards the area where the surrounding monsters are located, at an extremely terrifying speed, extending out of the doctor. Because the damage of this Wraith blast is high enough, and at the same time, the same monster receives more than one blast damage. Let them all be blasted to death by the Wraith. Then they die and explode on their own. Infinite chain. This moment, Gaimeishi, the genius girl of the Ghost Clan, went crazy. From Chen Yang's perspective, countless boss souls rose up from below, gathered towards the girl's petite body, and almost surrounded her. Dark explosions erupted under the ice wall again and again. Countless monsters did not react at all, and they were completely killed in this series of explosions, and the next explosion was released. This shocking scene. All the powerhouses standing on the ice wall are watching. At the same time, under the ice wall, the team of young job transferees who joined forces to destroy monsters, there were more than 1,000 people in total. This was completely ignorant. What's the situation? Ice wall. The national level powerhouse surrounded by dozens of powerhouses. Li Yishan, the ice god, is a middle-aged scholar in a robe. His roots are still black, but the ends of his hair are pure white. He has a calming look, temperament. But at the moment, this town-level powerhouse. He was still worried about this incident, but when he lowered his head and saw that all the monsters under the ice wall were all involved in an extremely terrifying and bizarre explosion, after batches were crushed. He was dumbfounded. He just got a message. It is said that a super genius discovered not long ago is rushing towards this side. At the time, Li Yishan didn't take it seriously. After all, in this situation, what kind of key role can a genius play? But now, Li Yishan went numb. It can even be said that I was shocked by this scene. Even if he is a strongman at the town level, he has never seen any epic or legendary monster tied. But now, he has never seen such a scene of killing monsters one by one, and instantly, thousands of epic monsters are wiped out. Even in a dream, he has never thought of it. If he can cause damage to these monsters, then he can naturally do the same. A forbidden curse goes down. All monsters must die. ... He has more than 240 levels. These monsters are immune to damage to him. At most, he can release forbidden spells to control these monsters. The lowest level among these monsters is level 48. Now they're all wiped out, not a single one remains. Meaning, the person who shot is no more than level 51. Level 51, can you have such a large-scale terrorist killing method? Not just Li Yishan. At this moment, all the powerhouses who are standing on the ice wall, nervous and worried, are all a little suspicious of life. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.